and welcome to 2 episodes of the Comic Conspiracy Podcast because, whoops, the internet doesn't work at my house, apparently. We were in the middle of recording last week, and the power of the internet kept going on in my house. I have no idea what's going on. So hopefully everything's fine this week. Well, we have most of a podcast from last week, which we're actually going to wrap up, where we talked all about the Disney investor meeting where they decided to drop a Hall H on us and announce 1 billion Marvel things, as well as Star Wars being some other shit somewhere else. Like maybe the Geek Box, where we talk about some of that this week. But also, we're then going to have a regular episode on top of that. So there's 2 episodes. It should all link up pretty well. But yeah, sorry about the weirdness from last week. I hope you enjoy this double episode this week. Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 478 for the week of Thursday, December 10th. We're a little bit late this week, but boy, good timing on that. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
And Charlie.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
well,
an intro that you actually can enjoy there, Ryan.
I know. Look at that. I was a little under the weather last week. I actually went and got a COVID test. Everything came back negative, luckily. But I wanted to kind of push back the podcast a few days because I didn't want to skip this week. But boy, am I glad that we did, because today has completely altered the stuff we were going to talk about. All our topics we're still cover next week, I'm sure. And we have more to add to that in the next couple of days. But yeah, we... comic fandom was given a hell of a treat today with the ever the most popular fandom thing of the year, which is Disney's financial briefing. I mean when you think of fan excitement, you think Comic-Con, you think E3, and then you think Disney's financial briefing right up there, right? It's like TGS, Disney financial briefing. So I don't know that anyone expected the amount of stuff we got out of Disney today. I mean, they said they were going to talk about some stuff, but I think people were like, oh, we'll get a Vision trailer. No, we got like a D23 plus Comic-Con Hall H presentation. And with the Game Awards, it's like we got happening at the exact same time. It's like, what a fucking day for content, man, for nerdy content. Holy crap.
Yeah, some of us had to work today, though.
Yeah, a lot of people did. And that's a great reason why I'm going to be doing the podcast tonight, so we could tell you all the stuff that just was announced today.
Says the guy who had all day off.
Specifically for comic book stuff. Hey, I mean, even on my days off, I'm working. I work all morning. I'm always working. I'm always doing something. And hell, man, at this point, this type of stuff is work, right? I mean, you got to pay attention to this stuff. As a content maker, ugh, terrible. I hate that. Anyway, we're gonna talk about all the crap that Disney announced today. So buckle up. Comic book stuff coming next week. And I know, Charlie, you had actually before we go, let's have the conversation we were starting to have before we recorded. The vast majority of what they announced today was mostly around Disney Plus and live action and animated features coming to Disney Plus. So some of this is, of course, theatrical, but there was a number of Disney Plus items on here, including original Star Wars, multiple Star Wars TV shows, multiple animated series for Disney, Pixar, and of course, ESPN, a ton of original Disney content, and then a huge slew of Marvel and MCU stuff. That's again, a lot of this is on Disney Plus. But we were talking, they announced 2. I actually just had it up. Hold on. They announced numbers. I think they just announced Disney Plus numbers. But Charlie, while I'm looking this up, ask the question we were just talking about.
So one of my initial reactions, especially with the level of stuff that they announced and the level of stuff they had already announced, is there's no way I can see this being all for basically next year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... And especially when you get into what we already knew when they launched Disney Plus versus how much has already come out. Like, we haven't seen WandaVision yet. We haven't seen Loki yet. We haven't seen Falcon Winter Soldier yet.
Yeah.
And those aren't all the ones we knew of already. Like, we already knew about She-Hulk was supposed to be coming and, like, these other series. And then when you add, like, another 4 series onto that, I'm like, so is this the announcement through 2024? Is that why they... Or is it...
I think for the theatrical stuff, yeah, but I think they're gonna haul some ass with this with the Disney Plus stuff. So here's the numbers right now. 137 million paid subscriptions across Disney's direct to consumer services, which includes Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. And that includes the international Star, which is kind of going to merge all these into one package for international, where licenses are different. So all this stuff, including stuff not on Disney Plus, is all coming to this Star service. So you can, if you're international, you can look into that. It's Star and Star Plus for Latin America, and I think Asia. I think most of Asia is getting it, and they're increasing their expectations to 300 to 350 million total subscriptions by the end of fiscal 2024. So that's a lot of people. But yeah, no, I think they announced a target of 100 new titles per year for Disney Plus. That is their target. So that is a split of live action animation and movies, and probably like reality stuff. That is an incredible. I mean, that's a full station's worth of content. I mean, that's just not, oh, we have Mandalorian and then another show. That's like multiple shows a day every week for an entire year. That is a lot of stuff.
Well, Ryan, there's a truth that's been out there for a while that the pandemic has sped up. And that is Netflix is public enemy number one.
Mm-hmm.
Every studio's mission is build the Netflix killer. And I'm going to make you grit your teeth here for a second. I don't apologize. Never mind. Think of Netflix like Donald Trump, in that if you knew nothing about Trump and you just looked at from the outside, you see a dude with skyscrapers, hotels, an airplane, a helicopter, golf courses, and you go, wow, that guy's like on top of the world.
Yeah.
And then you look behind the scene and you go, well, it's all done with these leveraged buyouts and these debt loans. And
I've said for years, I don't think Netflix survives this. Their numbers are outrageous, but they cancel stuff at the drop of a hat. They don't have any money.
Well, they're billions in the red. But the key is, for Netflix, Wall Street believes in them. Right. Don't look at their internal accounting. Look at their stock price.
All right.
So put the other studios in Hollywood in the position of the other candidates running against Trump in 2016 with what, like, how can he be doing this? How does nobody catch on? We're doing things the right way. And this buffoon comes in and just breaks all the china. So now we've got to play his way.
Yeah.
So anytime you see an HBO Max announcement, a Disney Plus announcement, whatever else is coming down the pike, everybody is gunning for Netflix.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, with Disney or with HBO Max, I think that is an incredible goodwill for consumers. You know, as much as I like movies, sorry, but Hollywood can suck it. You know, like it doesn't matter what's best for them. It should matter what's best for us, right?
Well, it matters what's best for the stockholder.
Well, but for them it does.
Yes, that's what I mean.
For us, it matters what's best for us, and what's best for us is for them to release all their content streaming, right? Especially in a world where 78% of Republicans are not going to take the vaccine right away. You know, like this doesn't change anything in the next 6 to 8 months. Like we're still years from returning to normal. And in the meantime, these companies are like, well, we got to get stuff out. There's a reason Disney didn't announce, 25 theatrical films today. They announced
I guess
25 Disney Plus and a couple theatrical. Don't get me wrong, but we'll talk about Black Widow later. But man, I don't think it's gonna. I still don't think it's gonna be on Disney Plus. It's gonna be $30, right? They announced. What's the other one? They announced the other one is coming.
Ant-Man.
There was one of the Disney animated movies is now gonna be on Disney Plus for $30 at launch and theatrical. Wait till we get closer to May. It's not going to happen. Once Disney's going to see those numbers and they're going to be like, fuck, it's not going to work. We can't have this. We're not going to make money theatrically. Black Widow will make money on Disney Plus as a premium charge, hands down. These other ones,
I don't know. While I understand the whole idea of sort of busting ass and getting this stuff done, there's still the Marvel movie stuff in the schedule. And I mean, when it comes to the current Marvel shows we already knew about that were announced before Disney Plus even launched.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of them yet. So the fact that they're now, like, even the Hawkeye one that has had like leaked set photos and that kind of stuff is for late next year.
Yeah. All the stuff that's filming now or in production now is next year. And we talked about this when we talked about the schedule of movies. I don't see half those coming out.
So
they even put Shang-Chi. They still saying Shang-Chi in July. There's no way. There's no way.
But I guess just looking at the stuff that hasn't even started filming that they already announced between like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and that kind of stuff was kind of what I figured would be their 2022.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're now adding another 4 series, does that make those series for like 2023, or are they trying to double the number in 2022? And
I could see them having. I could see them having basically always a Star Wars or a Marvel show on. So you're kind of flip flopping between the two, which would give it like 4 Star Wars and 4 MCU, or 3 and 5, depending on what they want to do. Because they announced like 10 Star Wars things too. So Mandalorian was I would kill to see the numbers on Mandalorian, because they must be incredible.
Yeah.
For them to basically be like, every character on Mandalorian gets a spin-off show.
Pretty much.
We'll kind of meander through the things that they talked about today and add our topics and add discussion as we go through this, and sure we can get some info on here as we go through. Let's start with WandaVision. We got a new trailer. That already got announced to be starting streaming January 15th, but the new trailer, very good, and gives you, I think we have a pretty clear idea what's going on in the show now. I won't spoil it in case you guys didn't watch the trailer, but it does seem, it does seem to, I think we got a little bit more, I don't want to say clear, but is a little bit more idea of what's happening, and a lot of the the theories people have seem to be pretty accurate. So, not too much more to say about WandaVision, because we've talked about that at length, and that starts just over a month from now, so very, very soon. They did talk more about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which will come out March 25th, 2022. And again, we'll see if these dates shift. I would not stay very confident in all these, but we'll see what happens. The big addition to this is that they are introducing America Chavez, the character America Chavez, to the team. That's going to be a Multiverse of Madness. I will butcher her first name. Zotil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Gomez.
Is it spelled Xochitl?
Yeah.
So I have a friend with that name, and she pronounces it Soshi.
Soshi. Okay. Yeah. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know if everybody pronounces it the same way. I'm just going off one case.
Yeah. I've seen that. That name's popped up in like the school I work at, so there a couple times. So yeah, it's Zoshi.
Okay. So this at this point, we've all but confirmed Young Avengers as being a thing. With her obviously and Kate Bishop and Casey Lang, and who else is actually Ironheart gets Riri Williams gets mentioned later in the listing. So clearly, we have a big chunk of Young Avengers or Young Avenger like characters. God, the old man comic book fan is concerned for MCU 2030 when all the real characters are replaced by the kids, but we'll see how that goes.
As long as it doesn't follow the animated films, we're good.
Directed by Sam Raimi still, and it does tie into WandaVision, but it also says it does tie into Spider-Man. So, none of this is official, but I guess it's worth talking about here. Over the weekend and earlier the week, basically, like every person that's ever been in a previous Spider-Man movie is now rumored to be in Spider-Man 3. Villains, all the Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst and the hell's her name, Emma Stone. All right, so all these people,
even there was that rumor about Nicholas Hammond. Which would be amazing.
The TV show?
Yes.
There's no way. Is he alive? I have no idea.
Yes, he's alive. Yeah.
I have no idea. I would guess these rumors are all probably pretty likely that we're going to get a Spider-Verse like movie for Spider-Man 3. We can. Won't take up time with that now. That's a discussion for later. But
I'm torn on that topic. But so move on.
Yeah. That's a discussion for later. But Doctor Strange still coming March 25, 2022. Again, their post-production teams must be I guess have you seen the credits for a Disney or Marvel movie? Like, I guess when you have like 75 studios doing your special effects, I guess you can finish your special effects in 5 months. And hello, wow, my internet decided to go out in the middle of this recording, but that's all right. That's what backup files are for. Well, we'll leave Young Avengers and Spider-Man for other conversations because we got to get home. We got so much crap to talk about here. What is going on? Of course, I happened to close the window that had my entire list up. So let's do this again. Let's go back. Let's go next to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Finally got a date, March 19th, and we got a full teaser for that, or not even a teaser. We got a full trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it looks as good as I hoped. This was one I had really high on my list, and I very, very excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. What do you guys think?
I'm excited for it. I just haven't watched the trailer yet.
That's okay.
I deliberately avoided all these trailers, but just to throw in a contrary opinion, this is kind of the bottom of my list of all of these.
Really?
I'm much more interested in Loki and WandaVision. I don't know. I just don't know what more there is to say with Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Oh, so it's a cool buddy movie.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Yeah.
I'm really, really curious about it because the early teaser they put out and stuff was very, very obsessed on the carrying on the Captain American mantle and like the shield and that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
This trailer, they
don't really
barely even mention Cap.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna. I mean, it'll be obviously a big part of the show, but I think they maybe want to focus on Falcon and Winter Soldier. That is the name, But yeah, they're gonna live it in his shadow, obviously. But
really curious to see how much of this is about, because in the comic books and that kind of stuff, when both Bucky became Captain America, it was sort of carrying on the legacy of Captain America and that kind of stuff. And then you have that time when Falcon was acting as Captain America.
Yeah. This
feels different. It feels like living up to the standard he set without necessarily taking on the mantle.
Yeah, he has a very similar costume. It looks like the Falcon Cap costume, but it's not. I mean, he's not Captain America, right? So
yeah.
Still Falcon, but March 19th. Yeah, I'm assuming we'll get 8 episodes, six or 8 episodes of WandaVision, and then straight. I mean, that's just going to go straight into Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's gonna be immediate, because immediately following that is Loki, which is May 2021. So yes, we're gonna go back to back to back with these. They are. Yeah. This is the start, and that's why when you were saying earlier, Charlie, about how fast are they going to do these? I think they're going to do them really quickly. I mean, Vision and Falcon, they've sort of had in the can, so they could obviously have started putting those out at any time. But
well, I know the production got shut down on the Falcon Winter Soldier.
Well, I mean, but they've had a lot. They were working on they've had plenty of development time, and they were in the middle of filming the
Falcon Winter Soldier when everything shut down.
Yeah,
and they were one of the first productions I saw confirmation was starting back up too. So,
yeah. I think
I'm. One thing I'm really interested to see, and some of this has to do with timing and stuff, like you figure the initial plan for like WandaVision, especially how much emphasis they did saying that that's going to lead into Doctor Strange, that there would be sort of a synergy between those release dates that I think they've thrown out the window now. So I'm curious to see where WandaVision ends and if we have a large gap before.
I think it'll just be kind of like a tease for, Doctor Strange, and I don't think they'll deal with Spider-Man, but I would. It sounds like because she's in Doctor Strange, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that based on the original roadmap, and I haven't looked at the roadmap for a long time, but it was very much like movie, a series, a movie, a series, a movie, a series.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're going to just get series, movie, series.
Well, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Next was Loki. We did get a full trailer for Loki as well, and a little more info. And obviously, the Time Variance Authority is going to play a major part in this, which this does come from the Thor comics, and they sort of Guardians of Time a little bit. They're kind of time cops, right?
Which run of Thor? Like
the original. I was looking it up earlier. I don't. Did they originally get? It's in the Walt Simonson stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird because I know I've read all the Walt Simonson stuff and it didn't ring any bells.
Yeah, I was looking up earlier. Their first appearance is 372. Thor 372. So it'd be obviously Loki leaving at the end of the alternate reality, the time split reality created from Avengers Endgame. I think.
Let's not start this discussion again, or we'll be here all night.
Oh, Charlie, I think this is the era when Simonson was writing but not drawing.
It's late.
It's way later.
Yeah.
He started with 337, I think.
Yeah. Loki, Tom Hiddleston, man, he's so good, and Loki's just such a great bad guy. I am so excited for Loki. Kevin, I know you said this seems. I think watch that trailer. I think you'll like it.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm pure. Remember, you used to be pure. Somebody has to carry the torch. Damn it.
May 2021 again. That's really, really soon. Now, we got to talk about What If. Like, are you going to watch the trailer? Do you have any interest, Kevin?
No, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not watching any of these trailers.
Okay, but you are watching.
I'm interested in the show, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. What If, summer 2021, so I'm assuming right when Loki finishes, What If is going to come in. Now, What If has... It's What If, right, in the MCU, so it's all the original actors reprising their roles. It's an animated series, though. They're doing all the voices. This was by far one of my most excited for projects coming up. I thought the fact that they were getting all the actors to do their voices, and obviously animation, you can do a shitload more animation than you're going to be able to do in a live action movie. Live action, quote unquote. Kind of the sky's the limit in an animated thing. I love What If. I love the whole concept of What If. The trailer, I hate the animation. I hate It's this. What's that movie? What if? That it looks like?
Scanner Darkly.
It looks like a Scanner Darkly.
Oh, I
God.
love a Scanner Darkly, dude.
No,
God.
no.
No. You're talking about you don't like the rotoscoping.
It looks so bad.
Okay,
The animation.
that is a movie I dearly love, but I understand why that animation may not be everybody's.
I think that I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh no, oh god, like. It looks so cheap. It looks so bad. The characters look awful. The style is like the physical animation, like the still frames look okay. I like they obviously have to try to look like the actors, and they fail miserably. I mean, I think the people look terrible. But like, there's a cool scene of like Doctor Strange and like another Doctor Strange, and they're like fighting each other. That looks cool as a still frame. The faces look horrible. The animation is fucking abysmal. I hate it. This of all the things that got announced today, this is the one where I was like, this is the only thing that I actively dislike. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna bite. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to check out the trailer just for you. I'm going to break my vow and watch this one. But
I mean, you'll know in the first 30.
I love that it doesn't take Ryan being all like, "It's the best trailer ever. You have to watch it." He will never break you if he starts talking about how bad the animation is. You're like, that's it. I'll watch it.
You'll know in 10 seconds.
But see, what I'm curious about with this show is the great thing about What If the comic was you had all these decades of Marvel history. This is going to be variations on things they've presented in movies only. Because
so far, everything that they've shown has basically been a body swap. It's like Sharon Carter becomes Captain America, not Steve Rogers. T'Challa gets taken by Yondu, not Peter Quill. Like, there's your what ifs, right?
That seems like what they're going to have to do, right?
Yeah, it's not, unfortunately, there's no Phoenix Saga or Galactus or Conan coming to the modern day or Death of Gwen Stacy or Wolverine and Hulk or, Punisher, when Punisher killed Spider-Man. Was that was one of the earlier ones? What if Nova was in the Fantastic Four? Like, they're not going to do any of that.
What if the Marvel bullpen became the FF?
Yeah. All the issues.
Well, I mean, they could do general stuff like, what if Captain America never got thought out to lead the Avengers or something like that? They could There
is I don't know if it's supposed to be Marvel Zombies or what it's supposed to be, but there is a zombie-ish thing in that looks like Captain America.
No, I saw that. I'm just saying that they don't have to just do body swap. There are particular things in movie, like they don't have to necessarily just go for a what if the Avengers had defeated Thanos in Infinity War, but they could go with more subtle changes here and there.
Yeah. Very excited for the series, or I was very excited, but the animation, it just kills me. I hate it.
I'm always curious because most CGI animated series start off what I would consider somewhat rough.
Yeah.
There's just a very good history of that, even like when you look at Clone Wars and that kind of stuff. Like by the end of the series, the Clone Wars animation looks great.
Yeah, it's really rough at first.
But I'm kind of prepared to let these animation studios and stuff evolve a little bit as they get used to telling these style of stories and that kind of thing. So
yeah, but I don't think they're going to change the physical animation style of it. I mean, maybe I don't know, but a lot of this
drew animation.
What's that?
What if John Romita Jr. drew animation?
No. Again, it's not what it looks like. It's not the drawing quality. I think the faces are really bad, but that's a separate problem. It is like any still in it looks good. It's the physical. It's the style of animation. It's very rotoscoped. It's very smooth, which is animation is not. I mean, it looks very much like that early 2000 CG, and it's missing that like Frozen doesn't look like this, right? I mean, like modern Disney CG movies don't look like this. It is a purposeful animation style that I dislike greatly. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see where they go with it. I'm gonna watch it. Just
I thought you were going to protest because you don't like the anime. You will not watch an episode.
No, I will. Well, I'll give it one. We'll see. I'll see if I can deal with it. Shang-Chi, July 9th, 2021. Again, I don't know. They wrapped production, so I guess that's going to happen. It seems really weird that Shang-Chi's coming out before Eternals. But I mean, maybe it'll happen.
I mean, I'm curious on the budget for that movie because I mean, it could also be.
Yeah, it's going to be like Ant-Man and one of the lower budget. Yeah, it's easier, quicker film, but still, 7 months? No. I don't see how 7 months into the pandemic. I don't see that.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but I understand why they might choose a smaller budget film to test the waters with more than something they plan to be a huge blockbuster kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. And I this would be I mean, it's funny because I don't have the name of the other movie. It's the next Disney movie. It would be weird if this Dragon. Also. Last Dragon. It would be weird if this comes out as a pay on Disney Plus if things have not changed and movie theaters are not as profitable as they could be, because that would make it the third Disney thing featuring it's basically an entire Asian cast between Mulan, Last Dragon, and Shang-Chi, 3 movies that should have huge worldwide box office potential. Maybe getting kind of kneecapped because of COVID. We'll see what happens. They didn't really talk about Black Widow or Eternals at all in this. They just said they're coming out. Again, I can't believe that Black Widow is going to be released in theaters only, but they said it is. We'll see. See what happens. I mean, I think that's a huge mistake. Even in May, we're not going to be. It's not going to be that different. We get a little bit more info on Captain Marvel. Nothing too new, but Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan, so she's playing Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. I mean, sorry. And it is late 2021, so that is going to be on. I would assume that's going to be well after Loki, so there would probably be that summer. Fall break, so I would assume end of 2021 we'll get Miss Marvel. November 11th, 2022, they have one of those dates that we were that had been open. People weren't 100% sure what was coming, but it's officially now Captain Marvel 2 with Brie Larson. Also, Miss Marvel is going to be in the cast, as well as Monica Rambeau, who's going to be in WandaVision by Teyonah Parris. Teyonah Parris, yep, sounds right. So all the Marvels will be in Captain Marvel.
Do you think?
And I guess, and that will. I'm assuming it's going to be modern day, obviously, because both Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau was the kid in the first one, and now she's going to be an adult in WandaVision, and she'll be, an adult in this too. So that's cool. I like Monica Rambeau quite a bit. See if they. I don't. I mean, she's not going to be in Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. She'll be Photon. I'm going to assume they'll call her Photon. What is that? November 11th, 2022. So yeah, we're at this point we're pretty well into. They've got 2021 planned, but yeah, I don't know. We got Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel 2 in 2022. Now, this is a big one. This was excited for. Official for She-Hulk. It's going to be on the Disney Plus with Tatiana Maslany being Jennifer Walters. And to me, I think this is great. Mark Ruffalo will be in the series, but so will Tim Roth. They're bringing Tim Roth back. New Abomination. I love Tim Roth. He's a madman. Yeah, that's surprising. Other than Ross, this is the only. No other character from that appeared, right? They didn't.
No other character, and they were setting up for the leader in that movie. I would have been more interested for them to bring him back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of that actor, but
that was Tim Blake Nelson, wasn't it? Yeah. From Watchmen.
Yes.
What's weird with both Abomination and Hulk being in this, I was expecting, and I think a lot of people were, that She-Hulk may be more of a dramatic comedy, maybe more focusing on lawyer stuff, as that is the character of Jennifer Walters, that people tend to usually prefer that take. I mean, they could. The whole thing could be about Tim Roth being in court. I don't know what they're going to do. Or
she's defending Bruce Banner.
Yeah, sure, right. But I would hope we don't get the modern, roided out Hulk like She-Hulk. I hope we get a more traditional She-Hulk. But Tim Roth in anything, Tim Roth is amazing. So She-Hulk should be a ton of fun. I don't believe they dated She-Hulk. I didn't see one on this. Yeah, no date for She-Hulk yet. A lot of this stuff that we're getting to the weeds now here don't have dates. But we'll get more info on this stuff. So this Kevin, this is or Charlie, this is your like 2023 stuff, I think, and 2022, late 2023, because they're gonna, for the TV shows, they're gonna need a little bit of time, not as much as the movies, but. Moon Knight, a little bit more info on that. Nothing special, but they did talk about it. Confirm that Moon Knight's still happening. No casting or anything like that. That is going to be on Disney Plus. Another new series for Disney Plus getting announced, and I think a lot of people expected a movie. So the fact that this is coming as a television show is pretty surprising. Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn, who is Talos in Captain Marvel, will be around Disney Plus for Secret Invasion. So this is the Brian Michael Bendis story of the Skrulls taking over big chunks of Earth's population of famous important people and trying to take over superheroes and take over the world. As a TV show, that's crazy, but that could lead to a ton of cool cameos if they didn't want to focus on like a one-off movie.
It'll be like the old V miniseries from the 80s. There's how you do it.
Oh, now you're talking. I love V.
So what I'm curious, actually, just because the last time we saw Telos was actually in Far From Home, as he was pretending to be Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And Nick Fury was out in space.
Right.
So I'm really wondering if this is going to be called Secret Invasion, but if it's going to be about
him
or even potentially explaining more about why he was pretending to be Nick Fury. And last we saw, like, the Skrulls in Captain Marvel were also sort of I want to say fugitives. I don't really mean fugitives, but
refugees.
Refugees. So I wonder if they're going to be some story about Nick Fury and Telos inserting Skrulls onto Earth as refugees, and somebody finding out and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the timeline for that would have been the 90s, right? So it could be this is 20 years, 25 years, 30 years later, and the Skrulls are starting to get revealed, right? Maybe they'll bring in the Skrull kill crew.
Oh dear God!
But I mean, that would just be my initial thought. Is they may continue with the Skrulls, which you typically think are the bad guys, aren't going to be the bad guys in the MCU,
right? And I think this might actually lend itself better as a TV show because you have the mystery. You can unravel who's a Skrull, assuming it's maybe a little bit more traditional like the comic, but I'm not sure where they're going to go with it, obviously. But I think a Secret Invasion TV show could be pretty fun. And that does give them a lot of play to transform into different people and things. So I would expect that show could have a lot of cameos and fun. Play with that quite a bit. Another new TV show officially announced. Dominique Thorne will be playing Riri Williams as the character Ironheart. So she's going to be introduced to the MCU. So a little more building blocks there for what I would assume would be Young Avengers. And again, no date, but this is a TV show, so I would think talking 2022, 2023 here. But you thought Iron Man was done. No, you just like Hydra, you kill Iron Man and multiple take his place because Don Cheadle is also coming back as James Rhodes, also War Machine, also Rhodey, as for a new show called Armor Wars, an original series on Disney Plus. And to quote the line, a classic Marvel story about Tony Stark's worst fear coming true. What happened when his tech falls into the wrong hands. Also,
I'm excited for this one.
But this is also the plot of every Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
So they've all been Armor Wars because that's the plot of all three Iron Man movies. It's
Wait, wasn't that the end of Iron Man 3? We saw Armor Wars?
Well, but Iron Man 3 was not a Armor Wars. That was the whole genetic experimentation thing against the. But you're right. The first two were very kind of particular Iron Man bad guy against Iron Man, and especially number 2 with all the drones and that stuff. But
now I love Iron Man 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's funny because they're like, this classic star about what happens if it comes true. It's like, well, it's already come true a number of times.
But even in the comic books, it had come true a number of times.
I mean, the only thing that happens more regularly than someone co-opting Tony's armor is him losing his company and not being a billionaire anymore. It's only every other story arc. Because every Iron Man writer's like, I've got this great idea. What if Tony Stark is not a billionaire anymore? Wait for it. It's like that in Green Arrow. It's like the only story they ever tell with those characters. But Armor Wars should be a lot of fun. War Machine is, and Don Cheadle's great, and I love War Machine in the movies. He kicks a ton of ass, so super excited for that.
And he's probably going to reprise Tony Stank.
We got 2 new Guardians things as well. Guardians of the Galaxy, a holiday special, written and directed by James Gunn, which will be Disney Plus 2022, and I'm assuming that would be Christmas 2022. James Gunn said on Twitter that he is a huge fan of the Star Wars holiday specials, so I think we know what to look forward to with this.
We're going to get a Boba Fett character?
Would that be great if they introduced someone? Now, despite my dislike of Guardians 2, I really do like James Gunn, and I really like the first one, so I'm very hopeful that this can be a funny nonsense thing because it's supposed to be that I'm okay.
I'm totally hoping it's a funny nonsense thing, and now that you brought up Star Wars, I totally hope it's some fevered hallucination by Star-Lord where
yeah. Well, when did he get taken? I mean, he would have known what Star Wars was. Yeah. What year? I mean, he would have been. I mean, it's in real time, so it would have been. He would have been he was taken in the early '80s, I think.
Yeah, but he's at least been on Earth now, which means he.
The other, a little bit, but he didn't know what a Zune was.
1988.
Yeah.
The other Guardians, we are getting a series of shorts on Disney Plus called "I Am Groot," featuring Baby Groot, and I would all but guarantee you that we're going to get there are featuring several new and unusual characters. If you don't think there's a Baby Groot, Baby Yoda crossover coming, boy, let me tell you, the marketing team is going to go hog wild. I don't think they had any info on this, whether this is going to be animated or
it's just going to be more of Baby Groot dancing to other songs while tons of stuff's going on. You're going to love it.
No, you just
Can't wait.
you insert Kermit in there, and it will be magical.
Just flailing his arms about, going, ah!
Baby Groot, Kermit, and Baby Yoda all just hanging out.
Which it would have to be Kermit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd have to be Baby Kermit from Muppet Babies, and then
see, I just want the normal Kermit, not flailing his arms around, but like playing his little banjo.
Oh yeah.
What's his like tadpole? There's like a tadpole. Yeah. They could all be hanging out. So yeah, no info on when I Am Groot is going to be on, but I think we'll hear more about that soon. Some updates for Thor: Love and Thunder, May 6, 2022. Again, that is not very far from now. We'll see if it holds that date. But they've officially cast the villain, Gore the God Butcher, is going to be played by none other than Batman himself, Christian Bale. So that should be a fun one. So yeah, they are not.
So grab your copies of the first appearance of the God Butcher.
It's already crazy expensive. It already was. Now for me, the announcement of the night, of course,
is Rachel McAdams returning to Doctor Strange.
I don't know who that is. Obviously, the announcement of the night for me is Peyton Reed back to direct Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yep.
So Cassie Lang is going to be Catherine Newton will join the cast as Cassie Lang, and Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. So that rumor was true. So I don't know how this is going to work, but timey-wimey hijinks with Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, and Kang should be fun.
Yeah, it's funny if you just went based off comics, and I said, Ryan, match up a hero that would be a good match for Kang. I think you'd probably burn through about 100 names before you got to Ant-Man.
Especially Scott Lang Ant-Man.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends.
I mean, was Kang a superior foe?
No, with Kang in this, I could see, okay, well, we're going to use the quantum realm to pop through time now. We did it in Endgame, so we can do, we can now time travel. And I love the Ant-Man movies. They're I think consistently the best of the Marvel movies. So I love the first. I love both of them. So really, really excited for a third Ant-Man movie. Paul Rudd continues to be incredible. I'm gonna skip that one really quick because I do want to go real quick that Hawkeye is also on the list again. No date for that, but we did see, Kevin, I think you were talking about this earlier. We did see some footage of not only Jeremy Renner but also Haley Steinfeld, who's going to be playing Kate Bishop, and a very, very almost said Hickman. Matt Fraction, there's the name. It knew it would come to me. A very, very Matt Fraction run accurate costume for Kate Bishop and everything. So that is 5 or 6 all female young Avenger candidates. So
if you had your bingo card filled,
that is yeah. I mean, there's obviously a couple, Iron Lad and Hulkling and
Patriot.
If they go Marvel Boy, if they go that run, who else is missing?
There are a few Runaways.
The Runners, they already have them in the shows. I don't think they're going to bring them in. But I think everyone.
Are you thinking Hulkling's going to appear in Secret Invasion?
He could, right? Sure. I mean, he's a Skrull, right? So, or half Skrull.
Well, you'd have to write an entirely new origin for that character.
Yeah,
because they've burned that Earth behind them in the movie version.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. He'll be a half Skrull, or he'll be a. What is he? Half Skrull? Is he full?
Yeah.
Is he half Skrull, half Kree? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could just they'll figure it out. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. But I think let's be honest here. The big announcement. I'm sorry. There's actually something that did not. No. Because there was no like real info, but there was info that came from the press conference, but it wasn't on any like the official press release bits here. They did say that they are going to continue. They are continuing to work on Black Panther 2. However. Direct quote here. All right. So now I am going to read a direct quote here from Disney. I got it here as I'm sure it was loaded and ready for me to read because that would be foolish if it decided to not be ready for me to read as I reload.
Yeah, and then you're screaming at me to get my tea done. Jesus.
So your tea is fine. Tea's fine. Tea's not going anywhere. Because I do have a quote here from fucking Disney. Disney.
Fucking Disney.
I assume you're trimming all of this.
Disney
No.
film.
No, fucking Disney. Go with it.
Disney Black Panther. Let me look it up this way. Disney Black Panther. There we go. Black Panther 2 opening July 8th, 2022 is being written and directed by Ryan Coogler. Honoring Chadwick Boseman's legacy and portrayal of T'Challa, Marvel will not recast the character, but will explore the world of Wakanda and the rich characters introduced in the first film. Who thinks for a minute that they will not recast after this?
Do you want a show of hands?
Sure.
Good radio.
Who thinks they're never going to recast Black Panther?
They'll recast
it. Like most things, you have to time frame it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to say they're not going to recast Black Panther for the next 2 years, I would probably say I don't think they're going to recast Black Panther for the next 2 years.
Yes.
If you start saying like 10 years from now, there will be a new Black Panther before 10 years, probably.
Not even 10 years. This would be too soon. I understand. They probably are like, well, we could figure this out. There ain't no way in hell they're going to be like, well, yep, Black Panther died off camera, and so he's just not in anything, and we're just not going to show it and not acknowledge it. I'm sure.
Well, do you think they're talking about we're not going to recast T'Challa or not going to have somebody else in the Panther suit?
I do not believe for a second that they will not recast T'Challa. We will have.
There's an easy out, man.
Well, sure, you can have Shuri be Black Panther for a movie.
No. The T'Challa that we know, the Chadwick Boseman one, is a Skrull.
Sure, they could, right? But
he's hanging out with a couple cows.
But anything like that takes away a very important character for Disney and Marvel.
No.
There's no way in hell. Like, yes, this movie, sure, okay, but after that,
but going
of
forward,
course they will have a regular T'Challa Black Panther, and they will cast someone else in the role.
Oh, okay, make your pick. Would you rather have it be the Man-Ape or retcon Killmonger as a good guy who saw the error of his ways?
No, they will just straight up have a new actor playing the same character. They have to. I don't think there's any chance in hell. Yes, you can have Shuri become Black Panther because that happened in the comics, but to get rid of T'Challa takes away a major part of the MCU going forward, and I just can't believe for a second that they're going to stick with that. I agree that they probably think it's too soon, and they can do something in the meantime, but
they could always
can't for a minute believe that'll be permanent.
They could always, because the way they handled Carrie Fisher's death, right, and her transition to the next film.
But they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to use like unaired footage or crap like that.
But they could use the facial stuff and go CG with it if they really.
They're not. They said they're not. It's the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, the reality is, we'll get the Black Panther second movie. They'll see how it does. If they feel like they absolutely need to bring the character back in. I mean, for me, a large part of this just has to do with the fact that a cultural movement formed around the character because of the Black Panther movie and the representation and all that kind of stuff. if they can figure out a way to continue that forward without recasting and stuff, they'll go for it. If they feel like the only way to sort of recapture that is by recasting, then they'll recast.
Yeah.
But I really think it's going to be a number of years before that decision even is correctly considered.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it makes sense to not do it now. They probably don't want to rush it. They want to let it sit for a while. But it just doesn't make sense to not recast.
Well, I mean, it's the same way that it's a natural assumption that at some point we will have a new Tony Stark and a new
of course.
Rogers, and
Of course.
this is obviously not going to be the only person to ever play the character. And they've had a history already within the MCU of recasting from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this is a little bit different because the actor took on I almost want to say the spiritual nature of the character in a way that was sort of accepted by a larger audience, that especially right now would not be the right move to just try and swap.
Yeah. We get some background audio from someone's been watching TV. Turn your goddamn TV off. What's wrong with you people? Obviously we'll see what they do, but I just can't believe that we'll never have Black Panther in this existing MCU. I just don't believe it for a second. All right, finally, let's wrap up with.
Finally, there was so much news.
The big announcement, I think, for everyone. Officially, the Fantastic Four are coming to the MCU. No dates or anything yet, at least not that I saw. But John Watts will direct, who also directed Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, and the next one, whatever home-related thing that's called. So yeah. I mean, we knew it was coming, but now we have it. Fantastic Four is happening. Kevin?
I'm ready. to quote the great Ryan Higgins, my body's ready.
I know this is I know this is a sore spot for you.
I'm going to repeat myself for long-time listeners, but my wish on this, I trust that it will be good. My wish is do something other than just dropping, hey, here's a brand new super team in the Marvel Universe. They've got to do something to make them different. Yeah. And I'm still rooting for, they took off in their rocket in 1960. You fill in the comic book science, quantum realm, black hole, space warp, whatever. They get their powers and find themselves now in the world right now. So they're dealing with, you've got two storylines there. They're time displaced, and they have these brand new powers, and they're in a world of superheroes.
Yeah, they're post Endgame.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you can't have it be that they've been around for all this time, because it would be like, well, why has nobody heard of them? Why did they not show up when Thanos arrived?
Yeah.
So you either have to have them have been working in secret this whole time, which I guess you could do like Challengers of the Unknown, where just nobody knows that they exist, and they're solving all these problems, the Mole Man and all this shit behind the scenes. Or my vote is what I just said before. Have them fresh on the scene.
Well, and you get into a little bit of a Smallville problem where it's like the FF can't be the last team that's made, right? Like that's what takes away from what they are.
Right.
What is the point of the Fantastic Four when the Avengers exist, right? That's not to say that the Avengers can't exist. The Avengers is the next step after the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four is like the kind of the genesis of the superhero team concept in the Marvel Universe. So the Fantastic Four feels small compared to especially what the MCU Avengers becomes, because it is only 4 members. I mean, sure, you could throw in She-Hulk and Medusa.
No, don't water it down. No.
Thousands of characters.
So the thing is I think that going into, if you want to go with the original and kind of what you said, Kevin, you could have them fly the spaceship, get their powers, but like they end up in the negative zone. And then that's where they're stuck, right? And then they time jump. So you're introducing this team that was existed, and then they disappeared and people forgot about them. And then now they're back.
either forgot about them or never knew that they existed.
Yeah.
I also don't want to see the entire movie. I don't want the entire movie in the negative zone. I want them in New York City. I want the Baxter Building. I want classic FF to the best of their ability. Yeah. Let's make it work for him.
I mean, you already had a time lost story with Captain America, but that's just a character inside of a larger thing. This could be that's their permanent status, and it's just them. So you have the family related by blood, but you also have the family, quote unquote, air quotes on a podcast, the family tied together by this accident and by this time displacement. I just think you get a lot more meat on the bone going that way than just, hey, here's a brand new team that just got powers today.
Yeah. And it just doesn't, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with like smaller teams and less important teams popping up. The X-Men is a whole other bag. Oh, yeah. Like, how the fuck they're going to do with
that really
X-Men.
Should be a TV series.
It should be its own thing. Yeah. Disconnected from the MCU entirely, because it I don't know what they do there. But
they're doing AVX, man.
Eventually. But yeah, FF needs to, Fantastic Four and Superman, whether they want them, whether audiences care, they are the most important parts of Marvel and DC and need to be treated as such. And I don't want to see them, either of them, just kind of shut off to the side and like, well, they're not Batman, they're not Spider-Man, they're not Wolverine, so we're not going to put as much focus into this. FF, and I mean, Galactus is the next big bad. There's really no other option.
As long as he's not a goddamn cloud.
Yeah, there's no, I don't think there's any other option. Doom, you could, but
there's plenty of villains that they can bring in that they've probably gotten the rights back to. What's the guy from Annihilation?
Annihilus.
Annihilus, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, but none of those. In Marvel, you have Doom, Thanos, Galactus, and then a huge fucking drop.
Well, Kang.
Not.
I wouldn't say Kang is a huge drop. I would say a drop.
Those are your three, and Doom can do the cosmic universe villain across 10 movies, right? I mean, 15 movies. That Doom could be that character, but I don't think they. I don't know. I think they do Galactus. Galactus.
I mean,
like the right pick.
I kind of feel like the way that they utilize Loki in the movies currently kind of feeds that Doom role, where he can
a little bit.
He can carry himself as the villain, but also work very, very well as the antagonist for Thor or the antagonist for the Avengers. He works both ways.
And of course, remember, Dr. Doom is not a bad guy. Dr. Doom is not a villain. He is the greatest hero of Earth. He is the savior of Latvia.
And he has a history of reinventing himself or taking the Surfer's powers, all sorts of stuff that instantly sort of changes his scope.
Yeah. Whatever Thanos' deal is, Galactus is this cosmic threat that is just this unstoppable force, where Doom is a lot like Lex Luthor, where he is not a bad. He does not feel he is not a bad guy to himself. He does not think he's a bad guy. He's saving everyone. He's the only one that can save everyone. And
he has diplomatic immunity.
so that makes a great. That is way more in line with Loki in the MCU than a cosmic threat for everyone to fight for 20 movies.
Well, if they don't go that and they go more of a grounded, are we actually going to get a Mole Man?
Well, see,
I would love
Mole Man would be awesome because it would be something completely different than any other Marvel. You're introducing kaiju into the Marvel universe.
That'd be great.
I mean, think of how awesome they could make. I'm so excited for this. I know it's probably 5 years away, probably at this point. But this is my most anticipated Marvel movie.
As long as the theater isn't sticky, you're good.
Oh, they could do Mole Man and Fing Fang Foom in the first movie.
Yeah.
That'd be
Just
perfect.
imagine like the giant green hand punching up through the streets of New York City.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'd be great.
the Submariner would also be great, but he's off.
Yeah, but
He's tied up with the Hulk.
But I mean, I absolutely kind of agree. They're stuck in a weird position, though, because however they bring them into the movies, even if they do the sort of time displacement thing, I don't know how you restore that first family. That, like, I understand how, especially the Fantastic Four right now, feel like it would be very easy to fill a role kind of left by those who left at the end of Endgame. Like, Reed Richards is a perfect sort of genius level intellect to step into sort of the void left by Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And that level of things and such. But I don't know how the MCU was founded on Iron Man in terms of the movies versus the comics was founded on the Fantastic Four in terms of the comics kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can capture that in the movies. I think you just have to roll them out there, do the best damn movie.
Yeah.
And just let audiences come to them rather than trying to force it as we're going to make this the most important team, because that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to actually have, that level of importance. It's deserved.
You know? I just figured out what I want. I'm not going to get it, but I know what I want.
What's that?
A Galactus.
With the way, no. With the multiverse and stuff, I want them to basically have a world where the Fantastic Four gets formed, a la like Heroes Reborn and that kind of stuff, that has that impact, and then have something happen through whatever that causes them to be refugees to the normal cinematic universe at the end of their movie.
Yeah, you could do that, Charlie. And then you have the opening, just have a montage at the beginning showing them defeating the Mole Man, defeating a Nihilist, like blah, blah, blah. Just pack the whole FF history in a 5-minute montage.
Yeah. And that way you kind of bring that emphasis of the characters and that foundation of like, these were the best of the best in their universe before. And you could even make, because there's a little bit of a history of this within the Marvel Comics and stuff of sort of Galactus traveling universes or whatnot. So you could use Galactus in that world as the catalyst to save this world.
Maybe. I'm trying to think of the timeline here. When was Tony Stark's dad part of? Is he in World War II?
Yeah, because he's at that thing. He's at that show in Captain America where they have the Human Torch in that glass case.
Right. So the timeline of that doesn't make any sense for me, because wouldn't that make Tony Stark like 70 years old or something like that? Right. Well, no. If he goes forward to like 2020 something.
Well, I mean,
40,
so
Tony would be.
We know his dad was there at the foundation of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we know he was there with the whole Ant-Man thing still alive.
Granddad. Like, I don't... Yeah. It like... The timeline for that doesn't make sense. But what I'm getting at is, where would he be in the 60s when he goes... I'm just trying to think, when he goes back...
Doesn't he meet him in the 70s?
In the 70s? That's what I'm trying to remember, what time frame that was. When
or was it the... Jeez, now I can't...
Yeah, I can't remember. But that could... They could... I would feel like they may want to set FF sort of in that time of maybe get it away from S.H.I.E.L.D. specific, but a rival to S.H.I.E.L.D. or, if they're going to go from that point of view, they could have connections to Tony Stark's dad. I would rather go time displaced to the present than alternate universe coming over, like an Earth 2 situation.
So you were thinking you would have Reed Richards know Howard Stark.
Yeah.
So the Howard Stark in 1970, right, Brock?
Yeah, it was 1970.
So that's the white-haired Howard Stark, and the young one's in, what is that, 1939, I think, in Captain America?
Yeah.
So you got to kind of find a points. Yeah, 60 would work.
Yeah, because it's also middle of the Cold War. There's a lot of stuff you could, use there.
Tony was like 10 in 1970-ish, right?
No, he was being born.
Was he born? Oh, that's where he was being born then.
His dad was going to go. Yeah. He's like,
his father was like 70 years old when he had him. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think the actor is 60.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's how you do it. I think you have them know Howard Stark. I think if you want to connect it, that'd be the way to go. And again, not part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but related. Or maybe I could see we want to have S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to recruit this Reed Richards guy, and there was this accident. There was this accident. We lost these 4 people.
Yeah, the case is closed, and then they just reappear.
Yeah, because I love the period piece stuff. I love Agent Carter. I would love to see more stuff. I love them to do more like old Cap stories. They glossed over huge chunks of Captain America's history in that first movie. I would kill to have them go back and do more with that.
Yep.
Even if it's just the Howling Commandos and Bucky off on another adventure or something.
How awesome in live action would the Invaders be?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be Cap. Yeah, I would love to see more stuff in that. So yeah, I could see them doing just like a full 60s, but it wouldn't be the whole movie. I mean, it would just be like the first, half an hour. Or whatever, so I could see that.
Well, you're welcome, Marvel. We've solved it.
That's what I think. Of course,
just send us some residual checks. We'll be good.
I mean, they'll do something totally different.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of some way around just here are 4 new people who just got brand new powers.
Yeah.
There was other big news, though.
But I don't want them to be like kids or anything. Like, don't have them be like 19 years old or whatever, like in the newer movie. Like, have them be.
Johnny could be that age.
Yeah, sure.
Johnny could be 20-something.
What's the other big news?
The other big news. Willow. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah. Saw that Willow news. I was like, give it to me.
Yeah, well,
stupid Daikinis.
Well, it should be fun. A lot of movies, a lot of shows, a lot of Star Wars. Oh my God, so much crap. Unbelievable amount of stuff to watch.
Remember when we wanted that Star Wars TV show a long time ago, and we were like, it's going to be about Luke and Leia when they're kids and all this stuff, and we're like, man, that would have been great to have, and then we never got it, and then now we have Mandalorian, and we're like, oh, this is awesome. Hey, guess what? Here's some more.
Yeah. Like 12 spin-off shows and everything. Jeez. Hey, I'm fine with me. Fine with me. All right. That's it. We're going to end this episode now, and we'll see everyone next week. Hello, and welcome to the Comicspiracy Podcast.
What episode?
479 for the week of Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
And Kevin.
Oh.
There he is.
Oh.
Charlie.
Oh.
Toby joined. Toby, we missed you last week on our incredible episode all about the billion MCU projects that just got revealed. We would love to hear your thoughts about some of them. Right after we do sales charts. Sales charts, baby.
Yeah.
Signing off.
Toby, would you like to talk about the MCU and the million movies?
Come on, just give Toby 20 minutes to talk about the She-Hulk confirmation.
And then we'll do sales charts after that.
No, we can do sales charts. We'll do it after.
No.
I get reacquainted at the same time.
Oh, what's that?
I get reacquainted with all the stuff that got announced.
Yeah, okay. See, he won't pay attention to sales charts, so just do them. That'll give him time to get ready.
Look, we're going to do some sales charts here. We do have a bunch of stuff to catch up with. And sorry about last week's episode. You heard it before the start of this episode. We just merged them all together because my internet kept going out and we had a bunch of problems. So we finished off the episode and now we're just getting everything lined up and double the pleasure, double the fun, double me gum, as they said back.
What?
And we have
years.
hours of outtakes of silence.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, it cut out on my end. I was able to splice together what I had, but I did. Yeah.
Are you going to have?
All I heard was there's a part where Charlie says, "Is Ryan there?" And like I'm still talking, and then it just cuts off like 5 seconds later.
No, I just like the fact that Kevin, because he had to go, muted his track in case you came back and left. So it just kept going for.
Yeah. I'm just having to kick everyone out and cut everything. Oh, what a nightmare! But
you can have the blooper reel.
I don't know what the hell happened. Everything was busted. So
Brock, the whole thing is a blooper reel. You can't have.
Is he there? Did we lose him? What the hell's going on?
Well, we have Comic-Con once again because obviously we don't have specific sales chart numbers the way we used to. However, they do have more accurate numbers from Diamond, from Marvel, and Image, and other companies. So Comic-Con is going through and doing their estimates for the top comics. We also have the November numbers for Comic Hub, the specific sell-through numbers. So these lists become obviously one's October, one's November, but we're going to go through the October ones here because this is a lot more combined list. The November ones I'll probably end up doing.
October.
What's that?
Said, oh God, what came out in October?
Well, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is the problem is because these sales charts get so wonky here. Because this is everything, we'll do our guessing game for October, but the November one I'll just go and read because that's a smaller list.
Batman, and Batman.
Let's see. So we got 10 books, 1 Image. The rest are pretty evenly split. Marvel, DC.
Was that
Batman,
3? Was that 3 Jokers?
Batman does have 4 books on this list, so yes, Batman's all over this list. No, again, these are we'll go the low estimate here. That's probably a little more accurate. Again, these are not 100% confirmed, and to be honest, Comic-Con numbers and ICV2, the place that puts out the sales charts estimates for comic book sales, are not. The numbers are not accurate either. They are often much lower than real numbers. But again, these are estimates based on internal sales data that these companies have, and it's the best we have to the public. So again, take all of this with a grain of sand. Grain of sand, grain of salt, grain of salt. Batman number 101 is the number 9 title, about 100,000 copies sold. Dark Knight's Death Metal number 4 is the number 5 book at around 120,000 copies sold. Batman number 100, and of course the big anniversary 100, was the number 2 title, around 150,000 copies sold. And of course, Batman 3 Jokers, number 3, was the number 1 book at around 195,000 copies sold. That's 3 for 3 for 3 Jokers, 3 for 3 on the top, 3 for 3 for releases in order. Kevin, do you believe it? Would you have guessed?
Would you have guessed? Don't put it on me.
No delays. Oh, I was a true believer from the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
Man. I'm the Stan Lee of Jeff Johns, okay? Like Jeff Johns fandom.
Once number 2 came out, I was a believer.
Okay. It was 6 months later, right?
Well, they did a good job turning around just like the hardcover collection of that.
Yeah, it came out immediately after, within a few weeks.
Yeah.
So that basically covers the DC stuff, I think. Yeah, Batman, and Batman. So, yeah, Batman is still very popular, despite people love to hate on Batman, but people still buy the books constantly.
Yep.
We get a bunch of Marvel and Image junk in here. What else is on this list?
Something to do with 10 swords or X swords.
Well, X-Men 13 is on this list, and the number 10 spot at around roughly 90,000 copies. So that'll get you 1. What are the hot Marvel books right now?
Venom, Thor.
Venom and Thor. Thor number 8 is the number 8 book at 105,000 copies sold. Venom number 29 is the number 4 book at 150,000 copies sold. Venom is, man, after a little bit of a dip, coming right back up in the sales charts. Our numbers are not this high for these titles. The books that are below it all outsell Venom and Thor by a decent chunk. But our Venom numbers at the store are way higher than they've ever been before a Venom comic ever. So You're missing number 6. It's the only Image title on here. And boy, do you think it's the 90s?
Crossover.
I think it's the 90s all over again.
Crossover.
No.
What?
No, you think it's the early 90s.
What the hell?
Just think, Jim Lee and Will Spartaccio, they all left Marvel. They all launched their own company. It's like hot. It's a man. You think this is like summer '92 again? What's going on?
Oh, Spawn.
Spawn number 311, the number 6 book at 125,000 copies.
Is that the one with the gunslinger?
Who fucking knows? Sure. No idea. Spawn.
Hey, your Spawn numbers are bigger than they did in a long
Spawn numbers
time.
are huge now. It's so nuts. Spawn's out of control. Like, yeah, it's so crazy.
I can't wait to get that collection of the stuff that's like in between 100.
So this is going to be very interesting. In the new catalog, they have Spawn Compendium Volume 1, which is coming back to print, which collects Spawn 1 through 50.
Okay, so it has 8 and 10 in it?
Apparently, it has 8, 9, and 10 in it, which they do not reprint. So I don't know what the deal with that is. Could you fucking imagine McFarlane worked a deal out with Marvel to get Angela back?
It might have been in the contract. It might have been in where she got, but he got the right to reprint the Spawn ones.
I don't know, because there's a bunch of Angela and there's a bunch of Angela stuff that, I mean, if
well, that's the thing is, what is Marvel going to do?
So, do you think he would actually have to work with Marvel, or do you think that's because I know Gaiman gave Marvel the ability to use the character, but I don't know. No?
As far as I know, Gaiman sold Angela to Marvel, like lock, stock, and barrel. I don't think McFarlane has any rights or any. I mean, he could have negotiated something to reprint those issues, just like IDW reprinted like the Transformers and GI Joe issues, right, from Marvel. So they worked around it somehow, but. Yeah, I believe they reprinted all those issues, including the ones with Spider-Man in it. So, it's not impossible. I'm surprised if they're actually reprinting the McFarlane issue or the Gaiman issue and the Alan Moore issue and the Dave Sim issue. But I don't know. We'll find out. Of course, we're missing the number 3 book of the month, Amazing Spider-Man number 49.
I was going to guess that, dude.
Which was a giant anniversary issue. 150. Amazing Spider-Man 49, the 850th issue anniversary, right before Amazing Spider-Man 50, the 50th issue anniversary. So, 155,000 copies.
This is why I hate the jumping back and forth between legacy numbering and regular numbering.
Yeah.
Just wait. They're going to be like, look, it's the 350th anniversary issue of issue 1000. 42.
Some other big books on the top charts that didn't quite make the top 10 here. A lot of Dark Knight's death metal books in here. Robin King, in Rise of the New Gods, all in the top 20. Rorschach number 1.
Yeah.
Exoswords Stasis number 1. Walking Dead Deluxe number 1. Estimated at 48,500 copies to the number 21 book of the month. We did pretty good with number 1. And, we got actually a surprising amount of people subscribing to the series now. More than I anticipated. They also had TMNT The Last Ronin number 1 at the number 31 book was 44,000 copies, which I believe is, I don't know how I believe that's like a different subset of the release, because the first issue sold like 180,000 or 200,000 copies or something stupid. So crazy amount. Or maybe that's just reorders that didn't get filled. I have no idea what the deal with that is. So, but yeah, some good books. So October, we're based on traditional numbers. October was fine. I mean, it's a bit of a smaller month compared to previous Octobers, just because they had additional shipping weeks and extra comics. October 2020 had 373 new comics, while 2019 had 521 new comics. So clearly, we're still getting back. But man, look at that top 10 again. What I tell you guys, Three Jokers is $6.99. Batman 100 is $6.99. Spider-Man 49 is $9.99. Death Metal's $4.99. Spider-Man 50 is and Spider-Man 50 is the number 7 book. I totally overlooked that. That's $5.99. There's a lot of expensive books up here. Metal, Rorschach, Harley Quinn, Spider-Woman 5 is an anniversary issue because fucking sure. The X of Sword Stasis issue, Fantastic Four 29 was $5.99. That's another anniversary issue. Marauders was $5. A lot of $5 comics. TMNT Last Rhino was $8.99. A lot of books over $3.99 in the top charts. So people do not mind paying. We're gonna see how this works out.
I wonder what the drop off is. Like how far is the drop off when you get to like the $4.99 standard or the $3.99 standard? Right? Like, are we talking like it goes from 100,000 to 60,000?
What do you mean?
So like you have all these big books in the top, but that's going to take away most likely from the bottom. Or in the middle, so you might have a drop off in there of titles that are $4.99 or $3.99. Like what's the drop from book 10 to book 20?
Oh, it's normal. It's not crazy. I'm gonna go back to it. Yeah, I mean the number 20 book Deceased is 51,000. That's about right. I mean, yeah, the top of the sales charts loaded with all the big anniversaries, specials, events. I mean, people ask why do they do this stuff constantly? Well, this is why, right? It's the stuff that sells the most, and they can charge more for it. We're going to see how this works with we'll talk more next week about all the new DC stuff because we'll have the full solicitations. But obviously, about half of the Future State books are anthologies that are oversized. DC announced multiple anthologies. It definitely seems like they're going to try to individual books that wouldn't sell great on their own are going to be replaced with an anthology with multiple titles. Not like a $10 book, but, $6-7 with 3 or 4 stories in them. This is both part of Future State as well as going forward in March and future. So we'll talk more about those books next week when we have all the info on every title as solicitations come out in the next few days here. But we do know about a few of them.
I just have one question about Future State. What the hell is up with that Superman book dropping at the end of March?
Which one?
Like the Superman one. They have a reading guide up, and it says it's the solicitations for March 30th.
Oh, you're talking about the
Superman Imperious.
The
Philip
what's his face?
Whatever. Blast God guy. The guy who wrote Blast God.
No, it's
the Mark Russell one.
Yeah, Mark Russell. Yeah.
Oh, Mark.
I'm telling you, that was a disconnected 3-issue miniseries that was never supposed to be anything. It was its own thing, and they just we'll shove it in part of Future State, and just have the final issue ship later. That's why it's just part of Future State. I guarantee you, it's completely disconnected. Yeah, the Steve Pugh Mark Russell Lexor comic, my most anticipated comic of all of them. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. So, yep, sales charts. Hey, sales charts. But let's go through Comic Hub's sales. So this is through the entire month of November, from November 1st to 28th, through the weeks of sales, through the full weeks of sales, so 4 full weeks. These are sales to consumers for the month of November. So this is actually what sold to customers. And we'll go 10 and up. 10 is Wolverine Black, White, and Blood #1. 9 is Wolverine #7. Number 8 is the Punchline One Shot, which we definitely sold more than I could have ordered more of those. We definitely under ordered on that one. And number 7, again, guys, here we are. Batman 3 Jokers #3. That book was the #1 book of October, sales chart wise, with 1 day of sales, and the #7 book of November. 3 Jokers has sold a fucking unbelievable amount. We're still selling copies off the shelf. It is a juggernaut of a title. Number 6 is Batman 103. Number 5 is X-Men 14, which is part of X of Swords. Number 4 is Crossover number 1, which definitely a lot of sales on that. That's the Donny Cates.
It was really good.
For Image.
It was really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and there's some stuff coming on number 3. We'll see what ends up happening there. I'll kind of. I usually try to wait and relay the whole arc at once, but I'm sure I'll be reading Crossover a little quicker. Number 3 is Death Metal. Number 5. Number 2 is Thor. Number 9, and that's our shop clearly is not represented on this list. Number 1 is Batman 102. Death Metal 5 under Batman. That's crazy. Or especially under Thor is crazy. But our Batman and our Death Metal numbers are probably pretty similar. And this does include all variant covers collected and everything. So.
Well, it's also like I know a lot of people have said that Death Metal they're kind of burnt out, especially with all the one shots that they've been doing. I think they overextended themselves with the one shots this time. When we had Metal, the amount of one shots they had was the core one shots for all of the origins of the Bat characters. And then they had a handful of just random ones here and there. But this one, it's like they're turning out one every week for months and months and months. And people are just like, yeah, I'm all right. Like
Metal? I mean, it's pretty much the same amount. I don't think it's anything really extra that was past the first one. It's about the same. I mean, they have a lot of one-shots, but the one-shots in Metal the first time were like the origins of the characters. This is sort of like Metal happens, the characters split off and do their things in the one-shots, then Metal, and then the characters do their one-shots. It's, they're not as essential, but the main book is still pushing the narrative. It's a big crazy story. It is Metal. And our sales are down as the series goes on, but that's pretty standard with the rest of how comic sales and it's rare that even big events keep those sales from issue to issue. So sales charts. Gotta love them. Toby.
Yep.
Want to hit us up with some MCU thoughts before we go on to the rest of our news?
Yep.
What's thinking? It's good.
I wrote a bunch of notes while you were doing the really boring stuff that's super uninteresting, and it may have some
I think
people.
he's trying to drive home a point.
But I sure don't. Anyways, I'm gonna just bullet point these really fast. WandaVision, second trailer. I thought that was a lot better. I like the creepy aspect of it. I'm looking forward to it more so now than before. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, full trailer, awesome. Probably going to be my favorite thing. I can't wait. Loki, thought that was an interesting take. Looking forward to it. I'm going to repeat looking forward to it a lot of times. So, spoiler, I guess. Hawkeye with Haley Steinfeld finally announced officially. Even though
official. Yeah,
even though the pictures came out a couple of weeks ago. But I sent my... I said my thoughts on this before, but I think she's perfect for Kate Bishop. I loved her in Bumblebee. I think she's going to be great in this, so I'm really looking forward to this. The What If show, we're in a new world. You would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said that would have never existed, but now is a reality, so I'm looking forward to that too. I think the animation looks a little weird. It's a little too new school for me, but I'm not hating on it like Ryan was on Twitter.
Okay, thank you. That was a big part of our conversation last week. Is
like you did on Twitter. No, thank you.
I despise the animation style.
I'm just saying that's
we'll
new school for me. But
we'll see.
Yeah. The Ironheart thing. Yeah, can't wait. That one is an odd one because she's such a new character, but then they're also working on the Ms. Marvel stuff, so it kind of fits all into the kind of that new Marvel Universe thing.
Because they're trying to get a champion show out.
Yeah, let's establish the characters first. So, James Gunn, holiday special with the Groot shorts. More James Gunn, more Guardians. I'm always in. That's fantastic, I think. Of course, She-Hulk with Tat, as She-Hulk being a big Clone Club fan or Orphan Black fan, Clone Club forever. I'm all for this, and I can't wait. I am floored that Tim Roth is back. I thought that was fantastic news.
Very unexpected, I think.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it connects the movie a little bit more into it because now it kind of stands on its own besides that little cameo from Tony. But if you got Tim Roth's characters playing the same character, even though we had like General Ross come back once, that this will tie that even more so together, and that Mark Ruffalo is going to do some cameoing as well. I thought that was pretty damn cool. Can't wait. Feige's news to not recast Black Panther. That's interesting. I somewhat feel like that might be the right thing to do. Hopefully, they got some really cool ideas lined up for that. The third Ant-Man and Wasp film, I think that's actually going to be a setup for the FF movie. So I have a feeling that the flashbacks in that movie are going to be related to Reed's dad, or in ways maybe even Reed himself. And I have a feeling this is a conclusion of the trilogy, while it's also going to set up the FF movie. I have a feeling on this. Jonathan Majors as King, interesting choice. I think he's a great actor, so we'll see. The Doctor Strange news of the multiverse, that he's going to be also Spider-Man tied in now. That makes all those Spider-Man news or rumors kind of make sense all of a sudden. And the Wanda thing, that's also tied in. So it kind of makes sense now with all the crazy Spider-Man news that's been happening lately, whether they're true or not. But yeah. FF movie, I briefly heard you guys talking about it. I think, like I said, well, it'll be set up in the Ant-Man movie, but I have a feeling it's going to play out in those 5 years when the half of the heroes are gone, or more than half the heroes are gone. I have a feeling they're going. That's the time period they're going to be in. But that's just my guess. Yeah, that's the Marvel stuff. The Lucas stuff, I don't know much about the Acolytes and the Vision stuff. Did it talk a lot about it? I actually don't know. Do you guys know?
No. A lot of the Star Wars stuff we didn't get much info on.
Well,
I mean,
Bad Batch,
we didn't get much info on hardly any of the Star Wars stuff. There were no trailers for anything, right? I mean,
Bad Batch had a trailer, which I thought when I saw that little announcement screen, I thought it said "Bad Bitch." I was like, "That's a Star Wars show." I was wrong. I watched the trailer. I'm not a Clone Wars guy. I think he's going to be a lot more excited for this than I am. But it looked really interesting.
You have to do like there was an entire alternate line of Star Wars that goes Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, Bad Blood. It's totally like its own part of Star Wars at this point. Like you just got to watch that entire run.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited for the Ahsoka movie show that they announced.
Yeah.
So I'm super glad that's happening. I was floored by the Andor first look / trailer. I mean, that they kept that secret is beyond me. Like, I thought, like a lot of people, that Rogue One was a one and done, so that we get more from that world, more with those characters.
Oh yeah, I thought they talked about that pretty early on, that they were going to do more stuff with.
Well, that's good to me. So, I mean, I guess I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan as other people, but I was floored away. I'm super excited for that one now. Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader, I thought that was phenomenal. It just kind of makes it more so that it's dope to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. The droids show, I'm in. I like.
That'd be your favorite.
Dude, if they bring back the Ewok show, man, fuck. I'm doing a full clap in the middle of the street, and everybody's gonna wonder what the fuck I'm doing. But droids, cool. I'm in. Lando, I always thought Solo didn't get its fair share. I actually enjoyed Solo quite a bit, and I always wanted to see a sequel. Having a Lando show in that universe, or that timeline rather, I'm hoping that maybe that kind of opens the door for a possible Solo 2, hopefully. But then it wouldn't be Solo. But yeah. Rogue Squadron, Patty Jenkins, that little tearjerker of a teaser, that was fantastic. Wait for it. The Taika announcement, I think there was a lot of rumors that he was going to take over Star Wars project, so I didn't think that was complete news. The Baymax show, cool. Zootopia Plus, yeah, all right, cool. Tiana, cool. All the other stuff, cool. But Rhea and the Last Dragon, cool. Avatar, Korra ripoff, but whatever. Okay.
That's coming to Disney Plus too. That's gonna be free, right?
Is
One of
it?
the free ones? Is that? It's not $30, is it?
Via Premier Access, which
Maybe it is.
so
Maybe it is a pay.
You have to pay for it.
Good luck there.
Pixar stuff, the Captain America Lightyear stuff, interesting.
Yeah, that was weird. Oh yeah, we didn't. That's actually comic book related. That Chris Evans is going to play the action character that the toy is based on in the fictional universe is way meta and very funny. I'm okay with this. I think that's very good.
Well, it's how can we use Buzz Lightyear but not use Tim Allen?
Right.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think it's very clever that we're gonna get an actual movie around Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. The other stuff I don't know much about. There's a bunch of stuff, more car stuff. Cool. Yeah, all good. An Ice Age spinoff. I was with Simon Pegg. That's like maybe the first time ever that I slightly care about Ice Age. I usually find that the most annoying like cartoon / trailers that always comes up. So I never watched any of them. But
you don't like the squirrel?
Yeah, they'll find that squirrel freaking annoying as hell. But Simon Pegg and Ice Age, all right, might actually be interesting. So, yeah. Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth doing a National Geographic show. That's
now you're way in the weeds. Now you're way in the Disney Plus weeds.
I'm telling you, I prefer to have Snoop Dogg to have a National Geographic show, but I guess I'll take Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth. But I'm still voting for Snoop Dogg.
I'm going to assume they're not going to do a show about weed anytime soon. So
Dude,
Snoop Dogg's probably out on that one.
Snoop Dogg narrating the Animal Planet stuff.
No,
dude, it's the greatest thing on earth, dude. Do not Snoop Dogg needs to do Animal Planet ongoing.
This is a funny YouTube video, I'm assuming.
No, this he. Well, I don't actually know where these came from, but he did a bunch of them. They're freaking hilarious, dude. They're hilarious. So I would have preferred Snoop Dogg to do a bunch of National Geographic stuff. That would have been the best thing of all time. So, but. Yes, I'm not getting that. I guess I'll settle for, Pretty Boy Hemsworth, and Snoop would have been a much better choice. So if Disney's listening, I'm sure Snoop doesn't charge a whole lot, and he'd be 10 times more hilarious.
Those are associated with Jimmy Kimmel. Those Animal Planet
that
things.
What it was? Yeah, all right. Well, good for you to be on the internet.
Hey, just trying to keep everybody informed.
There's a bunch of other comic book related movie stuff. Movie and TV show stuff. Let's go over a little bit of this.
10 days, baby. 10 days.
Well, yeah. We're gonna have our Wonder Woman episode too, our Wonder Woman review episode on Tuesday, December 29th. So that'll be a good Christmas present.
4 hours.
3.4 hours.
Yeah, calling it now.
Kevin, remember, are you ready for our 4.5 hour long Snyder Cut review? Longer than the movie.
Hey, no, you're wrong. I saw that Twitter feed happening. I'm calling that one now. Also, that's going to be 7.2 hours long.
All right, I'm ready. We'll record till 4 in the morning.
So, are we not going to record as a release because it's still the individual parts? Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we'll have 4 2-hour episodes.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think they're gonna be long, 2 hours each.
Oh Jesus!
Break down scene by scene, Kevin.
Oh, fuck.
How many times is Hallelujah in the new cut? How many times is Leonard Cohen's version of Hallelujah in the new cut?
I hope he's just trolling by putting that in that trailer. I swear that can't be in the movie.
What? So I mean, obviously the internet's been having fun with this all week about at what point in the movie does Batman say fuck? But are we calling it? Is it like Darkseid's parademons come down and Batman's like, oh fuck, or is it some other random scene? When does the F-bomb drop? First hour. It's got to be first hour, right? Right up front.
You know exactly where it is. He asks Superman, "Do you bleed?" And Superman says, "No," and then he goes, "Fuck."
That's the wrong movie, though.
Oh, that's
Speaking
right.
of that, Kevin, did you enjoy the?
But no, I think assuming they do the wigged out, because supposedly the Flash scene, from what I understand it, when he's going super and Superman looks at him, assuming all that stuff is actually from the Snyder footage, I could easily see Batman saying that there as Superman's just fighting through them all.
I'm sure if Snyder has his way, he'll say the F word like 6 times.
Look, at this point, it's all
Great.
news. Robin already said it, so Batman.
That's true. That's
As
true.
long as
Beat him to the
Justice
punch.
League has scissors around crotches, Ryan will be sold.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I just watched the episode of Harley when Batman had a ding-a-ling rocket.
Have you caught up with Harley? Have you watched it all?
I'm catching up now. And
The last season?
The last
Yeah.
episode I watched, literally, it's the cock rocket.
Don't spoil. I'm not caught up.
Neither am I.
the cock rocket.
How are you all not caught up?
There's other
I
stuff.
watched them all. Harley's amazing.
Yeah, Harley.
Yes.
Well, another show that we're all going to probably watch. Well, most of us will probably watch. I figured this was going to happen sooner than later. Another show coming to CW, and this is Brian Michael Bendis and David Walker and Jamal Campbell's Naomi. So I think it's clear that we're in a line for a kind of big relaunch of the CW shows with Supergirl ending, Black Lightning ending. I have no faith in Canaries or that Black Lightning spinoff happening, period. So I think
Do you think the TV show's just going to go with Young Justice?
I'd be amazing. I'd love it. I'd love it if Naomi was the sort of the launch into Young Justice and bringing a bunch of the teenage heroes. That'd be great. I don't know what they're going to do. So Naomi was fantastic. That was a great series, and I would assume we're going to get another volume this year. Really, really liked it. It's a cool origin too. I mean, they do a good job with her. So, she's kind of, like alternate reality, Rainian, and what was Rainian and human or Thanagar? I can't remember what her lineage is, but it was a cool story. I liked it. Amazing art too. If you're reading Far Sector right now, same artist, Jamal Campbell's really good. So, and that's Ava DuVernay is doing that too. So that's she's doing that along with New Gods with Tom King. So, yeah, she's got a lot of work. Should be cool stuff. There's maybe the most unsurprising news of all time. Hellstorm, whatever the name of it is this time. 10 episodes on Hulu and canceled. Anyone actually watch Hellstorm yet?
No, I honestly assumed it would be canceled.
Yeah. Based on Damien Hellstorm.
You could have gotten me. You could have gotten me with a classic '70s Son of Satan look, but with the bare chest and the pentagram carved in and the pitchfork. But this just looked like Lucifer. Yeah.
No, Swamp Thing and Hellstrom are to me, they feel like these were not the right shows for the time they premiered. There's a cool idea behind Damien Hellstorm, but it's just not. This was not it. You basically knew this was over because Jeff Loeb and Marvel Television is now gone. Yeah. That is it. This was the last thing. So hit the fucking door.
Honestly, I was surprised they didn't figure out a way to pull the plug on it.
It never aired. Yeah. Well, did they ever get anywhere on the Ghost Rider show? Because that was also going to happen, but that got scrapped. Did they ever even?
Yeah, I was going to say that got completely scrapped. I don't know that it ever went into any kind of production.
Yeah, I have. There was supposed to be this little section of like Marvel horror, which again I am totally down for, but not by Jeff Loeb and not by Marvel Television. Look, I'm not gonna shit on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. It's got its fans, but you guys had your chance, and it just sorry. Inhumans was such a fucking disaster. the Netflix stuff, it's not batting 50%.
They're keeping the good stuff.
It's not batting 500. You can enjoy Daredevil, and I like Jessica Jones season 1 quite a bit. 2 was fucking atrocious. Punisher was fine. Luke Cage was fine. Iron Fist I thought was fine, but most people hated. Like Jeff Loeb, sorry man, like you had your shot and it just didn't work out for you.
Remember when that Inhumans premiere showed in an IMAX theater?
I know multiple people that went to it.
That seems like 100 years ago.
They said people were just like laughing because of how bad it was. Yeah, that was when was Inhumans? Was that 2018? That feels like it was a decade ago.
Probably.
God, could it have been that recent? No.
It was fairly recent. It was not that long ago. It was that like summer 2018?
I got it. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, was it 2017?
17.
2017. Okay. It was fairly recent.
Original release date September 29th.
Yeah, so it was summer 2017 that was in theaters. Yeah, so crazy. So crazy.
So I never made it past the first episode of Inhumans, but I did actually finish Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Does it get better? That's what everyone says. Every season it gets better.
So for me, it's not even a matter of it gets better. You can tell at some point they just went, we're just going to do our own thing now. We're not even going to try and... Because like the thing about the early season, like the first season was very tied into the movies.
Wait, but did they... Don't they have like half a season left or something? Or are they done?
No, they're done now.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought it still had a little bit left.
Did you guys...
No. They aired the series finale already and stuff.
Okay.
Is that a rumor, or did it announce that Mockingbird is going to be back for Secret Invasion, the Nick Fury show?
I did not hear. I mean, it's possible. That'd be great, but I did not hear anything about that.
Phenomenal if she was in that show. And then she could go from that show to the Hawkeye show, and then they could do a whole West Coast Avengers, and all is right.
Oh, breaking news, I will not be watching the Hawkeye show.
What?
Because they are 100% basing it off the fractional run, and the Tracksuit Mafia is going to be the main villain in the show. So nope, I'm not watching it. Sorry, bro.
And to think I'm going to totally watch it every week and talk about it nonstop on the podcast. It's going to be
not
great.
Gonna watch it, bro. You can all you want and talk about the show every episode, bro. And bro, I'm just not gonna. Bro, watch it, and not going to talk about it, bro.
My favorite part, Ryan, of that entire rant is that you started the announcement with breaking news. Breaking news, I'm not going to be watching Hawkeye. Hold on, I'm going to alert the media. Pause the recording.
Sorry, bro. That's just the way it is, bro.
I'm just picturing myself watching every episode now with a little piece of paper just marking down every time they say bro, just so I can have the bro count in every episode of the podcast.
I tweeted this a few weeks ago. I am out at the 5th bro. If they're really going to be in the show, it's over. I mean, I'll be out at the first episode. I'm not even going to bother. Someone can be a bro count.
I'm fucking shaking my head at you.
You can be a bro count, and if it's less than 5 in the first episode, I'll watch it. If it's 5 or more, I'm out. Sorry, Hawkeye.
You, Ryan.
I can't wait till the episodes got 4 bros in it. I'm like, yes, and then the after credit, they'll just add one more bro, and I'm like, fuck.
I said I'm out of 5 bros, so
it's gonna be 10 minutes.
There's a million Hawkeye stories. They had to choose this one. They could have done anything else. They could have just
a good story.
This.
I like that run. I have the omnibus.
I stopped reading after the first issue because I hated it.
Even though it is incredibly thin for an omnibus, but I have the omnibus.
Yeah, it's more like an oversized.
So, yep, there you go. Breaking news.
He's not watching something.
Call Bleeding Cool while we're recording.
Yeah.
Okay, what the episode? There is one more.
They recasted the Cassie Lang chick for Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I don't know what's up with that.
I was kind of disappointed that. First of all, I'm disappointed that we're not getting young Cassie Lang because of the time jump. But I really, really enjoyed young Cassie Lang. But yeah, it was a little bummed.
It's gonna be a teenager. I mean, we were talking about this in the last episode. They're just setting up the Young Avengers. They're and then I can check out, and I'll never have to watch the MCU again. So it's gonna be a bunch of fucking teenagers, and I don't care.
Oh, that's right. So. It was those bad European mafia guys that said "bro" all the time.
Yeah, I'm not watching it. I'm telling you, I'm out. It's horrible. I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, and if they do sound effects as spelled out directions, ooh,
I'm out.
The best though is this Amazon review that I'm looking at. The title of it: Hawkeye's greatest stories ever. You know it, bro.
Yeah. That's the joke, so and I hate it.
So
I just hate it. Kevin.
Yes.
2021 is upon us.
Yes.
Don't jinx it.
We have a early contender for one of our 4 items.
Don't spoil our New Year's poll.
Well, I won't spoil the New Year's poll, but we do have to talk about Buck Rogers for a second.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we had a poll last year on what would be the thing to actually happen, and 3 Jokers coming out and actually coming out was the winner. And of course, the others were
the Snyder Cut was, I guess, would be second place since it's happening, just not in 2020.
Yeah. Right. Saga coming back out. Brian Kevon and Marcus Martin. Brian Kevon and Fiona Staples. Why am Marcus Martin?
Because he does the Panel Syndicate books, the Private Eye.
Yeah. And what was the 4th?
Are you trolling me or are you being serious?
Miracle Man.
Thank you.
Of course, the Neil Gaiman, Mark Buckingham, Miracle Man from Marvel actually happening again. It's been working on for fucking as long as it's not been published. It's been working on this book for like 30 years.
All right, move on.
So some of these will probably move forward as to our what is going to happen in 2021. What are the likelihood of some of these events, and what do we think will actually happen in 2021? And Kevin, if you want to put Saga back on this list, let me tell you that it's probably not going to happen either, because Brian K. Vaughan is now fully working with Legendary Pictures for a reboot of Buck Rogers, including multi-platform and multi-medium reboot, including a TV show, film, anime series, are all on the table. Of course, I'm sure there will be comic books and everything else too with Buck Rogers. He's taking an ongoing break from Saga and Panel Syndicate. So sorry, Saga fans.
Well, hold on. Let me throw this argument out. What if there are already a bunch of banked issues of Saga that Fiona is drawing right now?
There's not 50 issues.
I'm not saying 50, but what if there's 20? What if they've been working on it for the last 2 years and just not saying anything?
I mean, sure, they could, but do you think he's got 20 issues of Saga banked? We'll find out on January.
The thing is, it's not going to be Saga. It's going to be Saga Volume 2.
Well, yeah,
and
but
they'll release
Saga.
They'll release it as a new number 1.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think they'll just pick up where they left off. But who knows? Maybe we'll do a new volume 1.
Well, I just say this with no spoilers. I would just say where they left off in Saga was the worst possible place to leave off in a series that's not going to be coming back for years.
Huge cliffhanger.
What?
It's a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge.
So Buck Rogers kind of falls in the line of, well, I mean, obviously things like Zorro and John Carter, where it's like people don't actually care about these characters anymore. The fandom doesn't exist.
There are people that care. They're just smaller amounts.
So hard to get people. I mean, I liked we talked about this when it came out, I believe. I really liked John Carter.
John Carter Warlord of Mars. I didn't like it.
The Disney movie. I liked it a lot. And I would love a cool kind of stylized Buck Rogers, but the audience for Buck Rogers as a name brand is no one. So I would hope this is successful. I would like Brian K. Vaughan to have a good, successful career in Hollywood, and hopefully this becomes a big hit. But yeah, I just don't.
So Ryan, I've got to put you on the spot here. I'm going to put you on the spot. You're an investor. Just pretend. Let's just make up an amount of money, $500K. that you have to invest, like at a roulette table where you're going to put your chips on one of these IPs. Buck Rogers. This is a reboot, a new edition.
Sure.
Buck Rogers, Zorro, or Tarzan?
Zorro.
What do you think could be made the most successful for today's audience? Toby said Zorro.
I go Tarzan. I think Tarzan has the best chance of all three.
I go Buck Rogers.
We're all split. Because I think
Toby, I'm with
Tarzan,
you, Zorro.
Tarzan because of Disney. I think Tarzan still has there's still some level of mind share. Zorro had those.
Isn't there a live action Tarzan coming out at some point?
There was one like 3 years, or no, more than that.
The Zorro movies in the 90s
those were really
very
good.
Successful.
I love those.
Were very popular. So Zorro is cheap too compared to all three. I think Zorro is the cheapest. Buck Rogers is not a name anyone knows or cares about, and generic science fiction is not going to pass in a world of Star Wars and Iron Man. People just won't care. I mean, if it's really good, maybe they will, but I don't think.
A lot of it depends on how it's handled. I mean, in terms of a storyteller, I think Brian K. Vaughan obviously has the storytelling chops to do something with it.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I think something like that, my brain instantly goes to Battlestar Galactica, and they made that work.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If there's a really good chance, there's a chance they can do something really good with it, but it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be. I mean, Buck Rogers is meaningless, but Buck Rogers means nothing to anyone, right? They're not gonna. It's gonna be its own thing with the name Buck Rogers, because if you license it, there's someone will greenlight it. But if it's just a original material, no one will ever look at it, right? So the old white guys sitting in the top of the office have probably heard of Buck Rogers, and that's how you get your foot in the door. So,
well, if anybody would like a sampler platter, in the meantime, the epically 70s Buck Rogers TV series was just released on Blu-ray, I believe, in the past month.
Nice.
The pilot movie that stands alone by itself, as well as the full series, and I highly recommend it for a slice of cultural history that must be seen to be believed.
Yeah. So got some comic book news. Actual physical comic books.
What?
Let's talk about this stuff.
Comic books exist? I thought they were dying.
Speaking of science fiction, Philip Kennedy Johnson and Salvador Roca are going to be doing the new Alien comic for Marvel. That's a good creative team. Marvel getting back Alien and Predator is a little funky, but we'll see what they end up doing with it. But I'm very happy that Marvel is going to be aggressively reprinting all the Dark Horse Alien stuff the way they have Conan and Star Wars, because that shit needs to be back in print. Because most Alien stuff has been out of print forever at Dark Horse. But Alien's a cool idea, and I want to see how they can make the comics work. Star Wars comics and Conan, again, the audience for that's so minimal. The Star Wars comics have been very successful. Comic fans, if you were around in the 90s, those Alien and Predator comics were humongous hits when those came out, late 80s.
Like the Predator, 90s. I remember getting it, hearing about them during Predator Big Game. And trying to track down those issues was ridiculous.
They were big books, and they just haven't really had the draw. I hope Marvel can do something with this, because I think there's a cool world in Alien. What's the guy's name? Guy from Fargo, Noah Hawley. You guys saw he's doing that Alien TV show for FX.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, that
did you see did you see what the premise is? Or
no. If they had a real premise.
No, they didn't have a real premise. They just specified that it's entirely set on Earth.
That's fine.
And it says combining the horror of the original Alien and the action of Aliens
Okay. I would have preferred a slower in space dealing with Weyland-Yutani. Just you could have entire episodes without the alien in it at all. Just corporate shit, right? Corporate shenanigans in outer space with a weird limited staff and crew. But sure, if the alien horde's coming to Earth, that could be cool too. But he's Legion did not quite click with me the way I wanted it to, but Fargo is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I am 100% down with this.
Yeah, he's a great showrunner. Legion definitely clicked with me.
Yeah.
And Fargo is phenomenal.
Yeah, Fargo's been so good. I haven't finished the season yet. I'm a couple episodes back. I need to get caught up, but I'm getting close.
Just wait for the Aliens covers and the Predator covers.
Oh, the Alien ones are already on. Already from Marvel. They're coming very soon. They're going to be in January. The second Marvel gets the license back, January 1st, they're already pumping out the variant covers.
Now, how long until the Queen becomes like one of the villains of Disney?
They're gonna do a lot of stuff with all the Alien characters and franchises. Hopefully, they do better TV shows and movies than what we've got over the last couple of years, because I want to like Alien a lot more, and they're just not that great. All right, Kevin, your favorite comic of 2021. I got it here. It's the Joker ongoing comic by James Tynion IV and Gilliam March. Are you ready for it? You ready?
You know what? I'll just make one comment and then I'll tap out and let everybody else talk, because I'm not the audience for this. And so I don't want to, and it might be good. You just get into, think about how many books there have been that star a villain. And I mean ongoing books, not one shots or minis. And I'm not counting Harley Quinn. I'm not counting Venom, Punisher, because those are kind of anti-heroes. So all I can think of is the original Joker from the 70s, which lasted 9 full issues. Secret Society of Supervillains, also the 70s. Supervillain Team Up at Marvel, also the 70s. And Irredeemable. Am I missing?
It's like that Doctor Doom comic that's out now, but that's hard to be.
Oh, the current Doom.
They did that Magneto comic.
Magneto is,
I guess,
falls in the
Is Magneto still a villain?
Not
they
really.
Did Sinestro.
The hard part is with an ongoing is when the antagonist becomes the protagonist. Yeah. You're rooting for, yes, Joker, yeah, rob that bank, kill those people, gas the city. As soon as Batman shows up, it becomes a Batman comic. So it's Joker versus the GCPD, and you're rooting for the Joker. Look, it may be good. Sustaining an ongoing with a villain as the lead is tough.
So this isn't part of the new solicitation. There's other books we'll talk about next week, but I did want to talk about Joker real quick, because I think this may not be the book you think it is, having read the article, because this is going to, I believe, this is going to be a Jim Gordon book. But if the book was called Jim Gordon, no one would buy it. Mm-hmm. If you call it Joker, a lot of people will buy it. So, after an unthinkable attack on Gotham City, the Clown Prince of Crime has become the most wanted man in the world. So this is the post-Joker War arc, right? So this will hopefully take Joker out of the rest of the books for quite some time, which I know, Kevin, you're a little jokered out.
Everybody's jokered out at this point.
The Joker is doing his best to stay several steps ahead of law enforcement overseas, but Jim Gordon, facing retirement, realizes this is his last manhunt of his life and vows to track down Gotham's worst nemesis, completing his storied career.
So that sounds, what you just read sounds like a really cool mini. It doesn't sound like an ongoing.
What's an ongoing even mean anymore? You think we're getting 300 issues of this? No, that's just not how this stuff works anymore.
It could just be another GCPD story.
Yeah, it's going to be a Gordon book. Yeah, this is going to be. There's also backups too about Punchline and Harper Row. So really, Kevin, this is just built for you.
The Joker is the Nicolas Cage of DC. Like, we can't miss you if you don't go away.
And now, I said this. Oh yeah, it's the 80th anniversary of the Joker. Go hog wild. But really, I think DC's going to hold off on the Joker for quite a while after this. And then DC's like, Joker ongoing comic book.
It's not ongoing. Like they say it's ongoing, but it's not. You know, it's not.
That Frank Quitely cover. Oh. I mean, obviously, the people that hate it because I know they hate it because they hate it. It is horrible, and I love it. Oh, that face. Oh, it's the creepiest shit. Man, Quitely just nails it every time.
Just wait for the masks.
Oh, no. That'd be horrible in real life. I'm excited about this. So this, like we were saying before, this is one of the books. DC is going to have some backup stories here. So they're pushing on those backup stories. Yeah, because Punchline's cool, but do you need a Punchline comic when there's a Harley Quinn comic? I feel like it's taking up a lot of the same space.
There's not a Harley Quinn comic.
So what do you do? Harper Row and Bluebird will never have their own comic book. Sorry. I mean, that character was basically gone for a couple of years, and they're just bringing her back. So backups are where these characters belong. That's great. That's fine.
Hey, Harper can be in the YA area.
No, not really based on the concept of her and her brother and their story arcs and everything. And did you read the Punchline special? Because it was the Punchline special because he's like kind of the brother's kind of turning into a supervillain. So
yeah, no, the YA stuff. I mean, Mara dealt with Mara going to assassinate Aquaman in literally the first, that's the first thing she does is she tries to go kill Aquaman.
Yeah.
So the YAs doesn't shy away too much from certain topics, but it's one of those characters that I think they could transition over to YA and have a better audience for it.
Oh yeah. I don't not for that. I don't think for that character. At least not soon. She's not a character anyone knows. So, the YA stuff is taking big established characters and putting their own spin on it. Bluebird's barely been around in a dozen stories, so I just don't think there's enough there to grab onto. But yeah, we'll have more talk next week about all the other big DC books coming out in a couple weeks.
Wait, am I on an island here? Is everybody else excited for a Joker book?
I mean, sure, I'll buy it, of course.
Well, I know you. I'm not talking about you. You're an easy mark. You're an easy mark.
I can get every variant cover for every issue.
No, I'm not going to get the Frank Quietly covers.
It will show up on DC Infinite eventually.
Well, it's I like Gillian March, so if it's Gillian March covers with his interiors, but he's only going to do 3 issues, if that.
Yeah, he'll do half of an issue for 4 issues. Remember when
Gotham City Sirens?
Well, no, I was going to say remember Wonder Woman when the new arc when what's his face?
Mikael Jennings.
Mikael Hanin over his art in 2.5 issues.
Yeah.
Whoops. What are you gonna do? Man, is that it? Is that all our news?
I don't know. You're the one that had it posted.
Sif coming back to Thor.
Huh?
Sif is coming back to Thor.
Was she not?
Well,
the movie?
Yeah.
Did people think she wasn't going to be in it?
Well, she wasn't able to be in Ragnarok because of other filming commitments. So I think this is confirmation that they've managed to work out a block of time for her to film some stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're just going to bring back the Warriors 3, right? Because killing them was trash. I mean, they're just because they're gods. They're just going to be like, and then we're back because we're the Warriors 3.
I mean, they should, but I mean, there's also the argument that, while we know some Asgardians survived, not that many Asgardians survived in general.
They're gods. They'll just be like, we're all back.
How about that scene in the Loki trailer, though, when he goes Heimdall, and then the freaking thing comes out? Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Yeah, they can drag him over from the alternate reality Loki thing and just merge them all together. That'd be fine. Undo Ragnarok, please.
Oh.
What, you didn't like Ragnarok?
Oh, Brock, don't bait him. Come on. Move on. Questions.
Ragnarok was the worst.
From Josh. He says, does anyone have a favorite single comic issue? Your favorite single comic issue? For me, it's always been Super 75, The Death of Superman. Jurgen's art and writing were amazing, and the issues where I got fully hooked on comics. What's your favorite single issue?
I
don't know that I have this will just be because it's the one I just picked up. After I don't buy old issues, but let me rephrase that. I don't take home old issues when they come in collections. But I did this time. I finally got a copy of Superman 199. That's the first Superman Flash race. This has been one of those issues kind of at the back of my head where if it ever came in and it was in good enough condition, I think I want a copy for myself because it's just such a cool cover and it's such a cool story event. Like this was they raced for the very first time. That's a Carmine Infantino cover, I think, and a Kurt Swan interior. It's just a neat event. So I got one of those in the collection, and I was like, this is coming home with me. So, not my favorite single issue ever, but it's my favorite single issue right now. Anyone else?
Give me a second. I got to find.
While everybody else is thinking, I'm going to choose the first Superman versus Spider-Man Treasury.
Oh.
Because, yes, there are better stories than that, but...
Yeah, but that one was fun.
That was just... To get that giant-sized comic and to see something you never, ever, ever, ever thought you would see other than with action figure crossovers was...
They've got to get that stuff reprinted.
But they've got to print it at the big size, though.
Yeah. It's just crazy that all that Marvel DC crossover stuff is now just fucking gone.
Yeah, it's people just don't like money. Think of the stuff that's just sitting in vaults. Yeah. But anyway, I'll choose that as my favorite.
Because I keep thinking in the same book. So it's going to be Action Comics 583, the second part of the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
We're a very Superman focused here. Take it. I'll take it. I love it.
I love those two parts, and especially that second part of that book.
Yeah.
And it's also actually my very, very first Superman book in German had that as a backup story. Yeah, I know it's weird to think of that as a backup story, but ever since I read it, I'm like that it never left me. So I will take that issue as my favorite.
I'd have a really hard time pinning it down to like a single issue. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what about the first interaction with the Fantastic Four and Galactus? And then my brain goes to really odd places like Lobo the Duck, and then my brain bounces over to Mad Love, and
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah. I think for me, the problem is it's a tie. There's two books in the same series, and that's
I'll allow it.
It's Sandman number 8, The Sound of Her Wings.
Great issue.
And then Sandman 21, which is the prologue for Season of Mists.
That's a good issue.
So,
Sandman number 8 is top 10 comic book ever made.
Yeah, I have read just
top
that
issue ever made.
I've read just that issue so many times. And issue 21 is where you kind of have all the endless together for the first time, and he goes through the descriptions, and they're just these beautiful descriptions of the endless, and then that's where I got hooked.
Well, Ryan, the spin-off podcast is coming soon because I think I'm only 2 or 3 absolutes away of getting all of that stuff, and once I start reading it, you're required to do a spin-off podcast as I tell you my thoughts on...
Toby reads Sandman. I cannot wait.
Oh, it'll be glorious.
I cannot wait.
Toby, you could just have a different series of guests come in for each story arc.
Well, I think Ryan is very invested in that one.
You're gonna... I think you're mostly gonna hate it. Yeah. And you're gonna hate the art, and you're gonna be like, "What's all this white people shit? Like, this is bad." But I'm amazed. I want you to read it so badly. I don't know. You may like it. I have no idea.
You know, Ryan, what I would want to bet a side bet on this is
when I
what
read it versus when I actually read it, or
No, not that. I was just going to assume you were going to read it. I would want to make a side bet is
or like
at the end, what would be Toby's favorite story arc of Sandman? Don't say it now. I mean, there's so many to think about. I just mean like,
I don't know anything.
yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That's what I would want to bet with him. Like at the end.
Jill Valentine, little endless stuff where they all look like little kids.
Could be.
I think I know which. It's not a whole arc, but I think I know which one he would enjoy the most.
Well, Zach Johnson's got a question here. He wants to know, what's your least favorite superhero trope? Mine is when they have characters lose their powers and abilities. Kevin, you're still when they fight their doppelgangers, when they fight their evil doppelgangers?
No, but I just find that overused. I don't hate it. Professor Zoom was one of my favorite villains as a kid.
Yeah.
I tell you, mine is the Freaky Friday problem.
Body swaps?
Yep. So careful.
I'm not body swap.
No.
My least favorite is my brother that I never mentioned for the last 650 issues. I can't believe my long lost.
Fast and the Furious, then, Brian.
I can't believe I never mentioned this uncle I had one time.
Yeah,
I'll go off yours, Ryan, and I'll say the kind of the everything you knew is a lie approach where they just turn the whole thing upside down.
Ryan Scott from Geekbox, my co-host over there, for fucking a decade solid. Every time there was a new solicitation for Marvel or DC, he would do a search for just do a text search in the solicitations for everything you know will change forever. And it was like 3 times every month that line in some variation was used in some description. It's like, okay. Like, I'm not against redoing origins and cleaning stuff up and all that, but like, I mean, I understand people gotta come up with new stories. It's tough. You sort of run into walls, but yeah, I don't know. Like extending family too far gets a little.
Oh, well, Mr. I love the Shazam family.
No, that's like way early on. That's a little different. I'll forgive them back then.
No, I'm talking about the current continuity.
Well, that's not their family. I don't mean like you could have like a billion Shazams. I'm fine with that. I never like the long lost twin brother.
Oh, like literal family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize I have this half sister who's now evil. Like, if they ever introduce any family member, they're always the bad guy. Like an unknown family member, they're the bad guy. Do you know when this started? This started when they fucking introduced Peter Parker's parents as like shitty. Were they Hydra or no? What were they?
They were like agents of like something.
They were
spies or something.
Shield agents that went bad. I go, what the hell was it? I hated that. I can't even remember, and I hated it so much. I think that's what did it.
I don't know. For me, it's just the circular nature, and we touch on this occasionally. It's the whole Oliver Queen's lost his fortune, got a bit like when you get to that circular nature. That's the tropes I hate when it.
Shit. That might actually be mine too. Tony Stark and Oliver Queen losing their fortune.
Hey, don't forget Bruce.
But for me, that's one of the problems I've had a couple of times I tried to read like the Blue Beetle comic is I feel like every time they relaunch the series, I'm reading the same thing. That's one of those tropes of comic books that always gets me is when I kind of feel like it's just the exact same stuff because this is how they always launch a new series. This is how they always launch, new series of this character. Stuff like that. I'm not into that circular nature of some books.
Yeah. I'm kind of tired of the whole oh crap, we destroyed the city. Now it's like Escape from New York or some shit. And they do it like, oh, we'll do it with an earthquake. Oh, we'll do it with an alien invasion. Oh, and it's like, oh God, just stop.
Well, they love destroying big cities.
Next question.
My list.
Come on, where's your questions?
Brian wants to know, do you guys think it's smart of HBO Max to take away their free trial week right before Wonder Woman 1984 comes out? I think it's a great way for them to make some money for Wonder Woman. It gives subscribers a month to really explore the content. I believe Brock mentioned last week how hard it was to find content without searching, and I couldn't agree more. Hopefully that's an update to do soon as well for the main page. I mean, yeah. I mean, it may suck for customers, but of course they're going to take it away because they're going to make a fuckload of money. Yeah. People subscribing for Wonder Woman 84. So, yeah.
I mean, it also, at least in my opinion, gives them the ability to control abuse a bit better. And what I mean by that is whenever you offer a free week or something, you always have the people who don't just do that once. They go out and they buy the Visa gift cards, or they do different things that allow them to do it multiple times. And like I've known people who have gotten the free X amount of time on Netflix multiple times, or the different services and that kind of stuff.
And his name is Charlie West.
Nope, not in this case. I have not done that in this case. I've done that on other things. Like I'll be the first one to admit, I'm still not sure I've actually paid any money towards CBS All Access. But that's because they keep putting out new codes that even returning customers can use for a free month.
Oh, wow.
Get me one when the next Picard comes out.
Yep, HBO Max is going to make a boatload of money with Wonder Woman. So, yep, they got to make that money.
I just hope
make that $1 billion somehow.
I just hope they get the HBO Max app on like the PlayStation 5 and the Roku and like.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to have 4K. Yeah, it's going to be 4K, so it better be on something that can play 4K content. So, yeah.
Yep.
For Mario Miranda,
they're running out of time to get that resolved before Wonder Woman comes out.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, I'll just have it on my computer and just pop it over on my TV. But I would really like a native app. So, just so much easier. All right, 2 questions left.
PlayStation 4 app still works.
It's not 4K though.
I don't have a 4K TV.
Mario Miranda says, in your experience, what's the best way comic shops can go about getting new customers? It's hard to tell a customer. It's hard to tell as a customer, but events like Free Comic Day don't seem to get in new regulars. I imagine the answer may vary from shop to shop, region to region, but I'm curious what you think. I mean, this is the never-ending question about comics, and word of mouth is without a doubt the best way. Customers having positive conversations with other people, telling them about other shops, and that's how people get customers. I mean, we moved on to kind of the main streets, so that has helped quite a bit. People see us now, but I still get people that are driving by like, oh, I drive here twice a day, every day for 3 years that you've been here, and I've never seen you till now. So people just, people just won't see you unless they won't search you out unless they're looking for a comic shop. So Free Comic Day doesn't bring in anyone. So, I love I enjoy the theory behind Free Comic Book Day. Let me phrase that a little bit. But yeah, it's just giving free crap to randos that will never come back, and your regulars don't care about Free Comic Book Day at all because the books are named to them. And sure, some customers like it, and some stores go fucking all crazy hog wild about it. But it really doesn't move the needle on any of the books. It doesn't bring in any long term customers.
What's your Free Comic Book Day sale?
Not in any, not in any real amount. So, word of mouth in my mind is always the best because it's legitimate. Even Yelp is, can be fake or not trustworthy. Word of mouth is the best way. Final question from Tim. He says, do you guys have any traditions as far as Xmas, Christmas as we call it here? Christmas holiday. This isn't the Bryce podcast. We don't call it Xmas. We call it Christmas. You guys have any traditions as far as Christmas or holiday related reading or watching? Any comics, or TV shows or movies that are required reading for holiday seasons?
Die Hard.
Die Hard Christmas movie.
It's not the greatest movie. It's just a Christmas movie.
Larfleet's Christmas special.
That one's fun.
Well, I have a lot of them.
And of course, for the holidays, it's all about whenever the new Doctor Who airs.
Oh yeah, doing that special soon. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Jack.
What was that?
With Captain Jack.
Yeah. And I was not making fun of you specific, Brock. I was making fun of people that are like,
You mean those
Die
bros?
Hard.
Those bros that
Die
are like
Hard.
Die Hard?
Die Hard's the best Christmas movie ever.
That's not the best Christmas movie ever.
So annoying.
Well, for many, many years, I had a Christmas tradition of watching The Crow.
Man,
But I haven't done that in a while. But my mandatory Christmas watching was watching The Crow.
I normally have a miniature leg lamp from Christmas Story that I plug in and just have as one of the decorations in the house.
Now that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I think I'm going to introduce my kids to National Lampoons this year.
That's good. I like that. Home Alone. Home Alone's always a
We
good
did
one.
Home Alone last year, and I was like, okay, but I don't want to show them two.
Why? Which is great.
Yeah, I got to cut a scene out of it.
Yeah, fun.
What?
Who cares? Trump's in it.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, yeah.
There was that fantastic episode of Justice League before it became Justice League Unlimited, where it was a Batman Supergirl. Batman Supergirl, I believe. Yeah, it's Batman Supergirl, right? Charlie, correct me on this. They're at the Kent farm. The little one-off episode.
The only thing I remember from that one-off episode, if I recall, is Ultra Humanite.
The Christmas one.
Yeah.
Was it in Batman though? Was it Batman and Supergirl? I know Supergirl was in it. That's a good
Well,
episode.
apparently what I have to do this Christmas is rewatch that episode of Justice League.
Anybody watch Scrooged?
Oh, Scrooge is amazing.
You mean ever or regularly?
Just regularly.
You guys
Yeah,
are
I
all
love
wrong.
Scrooge.
Christmas
Scrooge is fantastic.
basketball.
What's that?
You guys are all wrong. Christmas is for basketball. All day long. I actually really like the Muppets Christmas Carol. I need to rewatch that one of these days.
Oh yeah.
I saw a really great Grogu eating Elf on the Shelf today, and I loved it. I was like, that's how I'm going to get rid of that little bastard. Because Elf on the Shelf is horrible.
I don't know anything about Elf on a Shelf.
It's
I like. When did this happen? This is like a new thing, right?
No, it's
like
been around for a while.
yeah, but not like 150 years. This is something that happened like in the last, like in our adult lifetimes, right?
yes.
Yeah, give me a second.
No, you don't. Don't look it up. Do not look it up. I don't want you to read the Wikipedia entry. I want you to have a personal conversation with us about your memory history of Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah, no, it's all adult because it's attached to my kids. I didn't buy this thing. I didn't have this thing as a kid.
Yeah,
It's creepy
yeah.
looking.
I don't know when this started, and I don't want to know when this
I
started.
can tell you.
Don't tell me. Tell me without looking it up. Just think about it. Just think, Elf on the Shelf. That feels like it came out in 2004, and I'll believe you if you just tell me. I don't have to look it up. I don't know when it came out. I'm going to say 2004.
You're one.
So I have no clue the actual origin of it, other than the fact that I've seen an episode that made fun of it of Teen Titans Go.
Oh yeah. I remember that. One.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've seen some great things that people have done, like picture-wise, with the Elf on the Shelves that are hilarious. But when you actually have two kids that are screaming, "Where's Elf on the Shelf?" and they've named him, and you're just like,
Are you supposed to hide it?
yeah, you're supposed to move it around. He comes in, and then he appears, and they're not supposed to touch him. And then he's supposed to move this stupid thing around to try and find a new hiding spot, and the kid's got to find it the next day. And it's just like, God,
Silently judging you?
the face is creepy as shit. and he doesn't have hands that come apart, so like you can hang him up in weird ways. It's just
No, I do not like this.
It's like the pictures of people doing funny stuff with it is great, but the actual application of doing it yourself sucks.
Engaging with your children really sucks.
No, it's not really engaging with your children. It's them screaming, "He moved! He moved!" Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay.
Destroy that childlike wonder, Brock. Just crush their dreams and hopes.
That's what I'm supposed to do as a parent.
I know.
I have to be a realist.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
That's the second part
any
of the
last minute,
podcast.
Any last minute stuff before we wrap up?
Expanse is tomorrow. Yes, season 5.
TV show?
Yep, on Amazon. I cannot wait. It is amazing.
I've never seen Expanse.
It's really good.
So we're gonna do a pretty normal episode next week. 29th is going to be our Wonder Woman 1984 review, so strap in for that. And January 5th, if all goes according to plan, we should have a nice all-star cast of Comic Conspiracy guest stars, past, present, and hopefully future, to kind of give us a little year wrap-up. We normally do bigger end-of-year stuff, and I'm still going to do some kind of list on the Facebook page and maybe some Twitter stuff. And Patreon, but this year is odd, and it doesn't work to me to have like our traditional lists. Comics got so weirdly kneecapped, and my reading has been terrible. I mean, I read some stuff, but I've been so back on a lot of titles, and I know everyone on the podcast is back on stuff. So we'll do stuff a little different this year. But if you've got some stuff you want to send us about your 2020 year, comic book wise, movies, TVs, you can always do that to the Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net, and we will save those for our end of year wrap up episode, which should be the first week.
End of which year are you saving those emails?
Huh?
You're saving those emails for the end of which year?
No, we will actually read these ones.
Sure.
Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net. Yeah, let us know how.
Totally believing you.
2020 was obviously trash for a lot of people, but if you've got some stuff you want to get off your chest, or just talk about how comic books or this podcast has affected your life this past year, we'd love to hear from you guys. So. Please thank all of our high tier backers, including Joe Duff, Jesse Peterson at the Comic Book Matters podcast, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum podcast, Andrew Nelson Mendez at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. Go listen to all of their stuff. Go listen to their podcasts. They do this regularly, and they get some ads on here. So please go check them out. Also, Mario Miranda has a YouTube channel called The Comic Lounge dedicated to talking about comic books and interviewing creators. So please check out him. Now, Craig P. Anderson, as we like to call him here on this podcast, he actually has a brand new site that needs to get plugged here. They while Craig P. Anderson still works, of course, what you need to do is go to his official, now full work site, which is clearpathcoaches.com. That is, again, if you are one of those professional type people and you want to become just even better, you need Craig P. Anderson on your side. He's going to help you become the best professional you can ever be. Clearpathcoaches.com. Go check out Craig. Also, check out geekbox.net. We had some recording issues last week. Last week was cursed for both podcasts. So new episode should be up around the time you hear this, maybe tomorrow. We do talk a little bit more about the Star Wars stuff, some more of the MCU, or whatever else. Beat Paper Mario. Talked about that for a little bit. A couple other things. Comicconspiracypodcast.com is where you can find our previous episodes, as well as the Apple Podcast app and Spotify. Please go to patreon.com/comicconspiracy. A couple bucks, you can help support this podcast every month. Get some Q&A on there, Q&A threads. You can leave some questions. We'll read on the podcast and try to answer. ConspiratorBrock.com, that's Brock's blog, video pull list, and unboxing videos. You can go check out his stuff there. Wanders in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. New episode coming soon. Go check out Kevin's weekly interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com. And of course, my wife Leanne has her website, leannehill.com, as well as her artwork up on Etsy, which is etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. Probably too late to get anything delivered in time for Christmas, but maybe not if you're local. Might still be able to get stuff. She does a lot of shipping through Etsy, so we'll get that stuff out as soon as possible. And of course, comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can go to purchase all our physical comics. Again, unless you do priority, we're really not going to be able to guarantee anything shipping for Christmas, but you can do in-store pickup. Also, if anyone tried to visit the site in the last couple of weeks, you may have got some weird
security certificate thing. It seemed like it was Apple.
No, that got fixed. It was only happening to certain people, but it should be completely fixed now for everyone.
Okay.
So if you try to go to the site and it was giving you some weird error, it was just stuff wasn't forwarding correctly. It was affecting a lot of the Comic Hub sites, but everything is working now, so should be good. Go on Twitter, follow Ryan Higgins. I'm on there. Brock Sager.
Still don't hear anything.
Where's your Brock Sager 2 account? Go make a second Twitter account.
Yeah, that requires me to make work. Yeah.
Toby XI is Toby. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Kevin is that Kevin Sharp. And Comics Con Store is the store.
No.
Like I said, Geekbox. Make sure you check that out, as well as Manga Machinations. We got some friends over there that do this manga podcast.
Funny enough, though, on my Twitter account, because I can still somewhat access it, apparently somebody I reported got banned, and they wanted to tell me about it while I was suspended.
While you were suspended?
Thanks.
Well, at least it's you got some access to it. So
yeah, who knows?
Hopefully they'll get it figured out. Okay, hopefully this episode recorded better. My internet didn't seem to go out, so everything seems good so far. We're gonna wrap up now, and we'll catch everyone next week.